I want to start right away with Boba Fett. Joe, forgive the spoilers. I know you don't care.
His favorite character.
I know you don't care. So look, the first half of this is spoilers for those. This is this week's episode. It went up on Wednesday,
which would be episode 5.
Today.
Episode
Isn't today
5.
Wednesday?
Yes, so it went up today.
Episode.
You
5.
watched it this morning?
I watched it this morning on the walk. Yeah.
I watched it right before I came.
Wow. No, I'll do
That's what she said.
So, two things. The first half of this episode is the best episode of the Book of Boba Fett. Do you agree with that? Or did you not care for it?
No, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Okay. I also think that the first half of this episode is simultaneously in the top 3 Mandalorian episodes ever made. So, this episode of Book of Boba Fett
Doesn't have any Boba Fett in it.
no Boba Fett in it. It's a Mandalorian episode.
It's a Mandalorian episode.
I don't remember what show we watched in the last fucking 5 years we've been doing this, but I remember there was one time where Bobby said the same thing. This is the best episode of this thing ever. They weren't in it.
So, I figured it out.
Tell
I
me.
figured out the cheat code. Are you ready? The ingredients for a great Mandalorian Star Wars show are there.
Okay.
And they fucked it up.
Okay.
The Mandalorian should be Boba Fett. Boba Fett, they should have done the series about Boba Fett getting out of the Sarlacc pit. In my opinion, you can skip the native Tatooiners. You can skip the native Tatooiners. You can get right to him getting back to getting his gear and getting his ship and getting off world.
And he's getting his groove back.
And he's getting his groove back. and he's back on his bully shit. Back on being the universe's greatest gangster, takes the job for the fucking child, links up with the child, and then has this moment where he has to come to terms with it. It shadows Django and his relationship, and it makes him have to deal with the Jedi killing his father, and now him potentially having to save the life of a Jedi, and that should have been the fucking show.
You're right. That's good shit right there.
Why didn't you write that way?
I should have. They don't listen to me. They haven't been listening to me for years.
Why didn't you send that in?
I don't have enough Twitter accounts to make my point heard.
This is true.
You on Reddit also? And on
probably.
maybe 4chan?
I am on Reddit, but mainly for beating my dick and keeping up on drill music.
I don't know.
At the same time.
Drum. But yep. Let me talk about it. So the first half of it deals with the Mandalorian going to find out where the Mandalorians are now hiding. Trading.
I love the meat market, by the way. The opening scene at the meat market. What are those people called?
Clatoonians or
the dog-faced people.
Yeah.
It's very obvious now.
Yeah, that was cool, but then him going and dealing with the Darksaber bit and talking and dealing with all that, and then having to walk away.
Now I'm interested in the series.
Because that was in the second season, right?
Right.
Okay,
Like, if this follows this up?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's
Yes.
after
So yeah,
this.
now I'm interested.
So
Can I just watch this episode?
yes,
Probably.
Yes, you can.
You probably
because
like
it has
the last two
nothing
episodes.
to do.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So you could watch this episode. It's standalone and
Great.
It's
Love to hear it.
It's not really a cliffhanger. Even it's just he's going on about his business, and his business is probably going to intersect with Boba's business,
Which I don't care about. Maybe.
Boba's Business, the sequel to Book of Boba.
There you go.
But and then if you wanted to watch Boba, if you wanted to, you could pick it up later, skip that episode, and it'd be none to watch. You know what I mean? We wouldn't skip a beat.
I mean, I feel like I'm going to watch it because it's just mandatory because it's Star Wars.
And you could have dealt with Boba Fett and the Mandalorian shit in the same breath had you gone my route.
Yeah.
But it deals with him Darksaber shit, Mandalorian culture shit. Very, very, very good. Very, very, very solid. It's a little too dark, and I don't mean that tone-wise. I mean that literally, like it's hard to see, and I feel like that
Game of
way.
Thrones sometimes.
I feel like that way a lot with this.
I'm going to be honest with you. I watch TV in the dark most of the time because a lot of the shows I watch are in space.
God, it's like
so dark.
I'm like
Do you watch? Oh yeah, you're fucking outside of goddamn sunlight. That's on you.
So that doesn't help my case for sure. But I'm but
walking outside, watching the shit
Like
on
a-
a small fucking cell phone screen.
and it's so cold that I have my hand in my sleeve and the phone just resting on my forearm.
That's how much attention Bobby's giving to Star Wars right now. He's watching it while he walks around.
Yeah.
I always watch it at night with the curtains drawn and lights out.
Yeah, like most of it just him, Boba sitting around a campfire. But anyway, then the second half of it, complete garbage to me. Like,
but spinning's a good trick, and he said
Right.
and he said wizard.
He said wizard.
And did you? I mean, this was it was a kind of a deep cut, but I think those of us in the know that Beggar's Canyon and you know all that stuff. I thought that was cool, and I don't know, man. It's like part of me was like, he's gonna have a Razor Crest again. I just kind of assumed that would show up, and I have a feeling at some point in time,
It probably
the lady is going to be like, "I found you a Razor Crest. Bring me back that souped up Nabooian rocket ship or whatever she called it." So they take the ship that Anakin's like, "Oh, spinning's a good trick." One of those ships, and they've like souped it up.
It's a Naboo Starfighter.
That's it's handmade. No robots made.
Oh, sorry, I had the wrong. I have the wrong bank in.
This is what happens when we record on a Wednesday.
There it is. So yeah, they've souped up this.
It's too small. You can't have any cargo in there.
Exactly right. So it's him, and they've taken out the droid spot, and there's a dome. I wonder who will go in the dome. Anyways,
yeah, it's the second half was not great. Now,
I mean, I like that kind of nonsense montage. You know, I love a montage.
I fucking love a montage, bro.
A spaceship building montage.
Perfect montage.
There's pit droids in the montage.
I like it when you sing a song about it. For
the montage.
Can you make a drill cover of the montage song?
No. So I now last week, the Book of just to get rid of Book of Boba Fett, I said Book of Boba Fett, aka sit by fire pit and explain the narrative.
The only note I took on Boba is that ring thing was really cool. Like whatever that place where they were when they were.
Oh yeah. Well, this is the
Space Center.
This is the week before. To be fair.
Oh, okay.
This is the week before. To be fair, I said Sarlacc death made me a little like they killed the Sarlacc. Made me a little sad
with a boom, one of those.
Yeah, one of those.
The noise.
Yeah.
I don't know. The sonic.
Added the slave one, or they should probably come up with
seismic charge.
Actually, they don't.
Didn't.
There's a little stink. Well,
somebody said they're going to rename it to "I Choose to Be Here" one.
So there's a new Lego set out that it doesn't call it the slave one. It calls it something else.
Really?
Yeah, they're not calling it the slave one.
Why not?
It's unreal.
The name is the name.
They're calling it by the name of the ship, like the type of ship it is, not the name of the ship.
Flashback boring. Why is this show so hard to see? It's so fucking dark.
Oh wait, do we have 2 episodes of that to cover today?
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
We do.
So I just threw that in there.
I'm trying to remember what happened last week.
It was just the slave one killed the Sarlacc.
That's right. Yeah, face down, ass up. That's the way we like to hunt for Sarlacc pits.
Yes, and it also showed how he got slave one.
That's right.
Or I choose to be here one.
The slave one in the Sarlacc pit was probably one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in Star Wars. When it was face down.
Yes.
That was ridiculous.
Yes, it was dumb. Yeah, that episode to me was the worst one so far. And then this one was the best one.
Don't watch The Expanse back to back with Star Wars because you're like, what the fuck? How the fuck does that move?
So I did. But I'll get to that in my nerve.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to open up the show with. I made a pretty poignant point.
Man, look at this alliteration.
You like that?
It's like Book of Boba Fett.
But yeah.
Book of Boba.
About on Patreon about that Jansen. I want to talk to Jansen.
Climbing to the moon.
The preceptor from X-Transbots. Yep. X-Transbots, I think, would benefit from 2 things. And I say this lovingly because I believe in X-Transbots, much like Bruce Wayne believed in Harvey Dent. They would benefit from working on smaller figures, like car bot size and smaller, and leave the big stuff alone until they've got a real grip on it. Because every time they kind of shoot for that, like Cup and their
Transistor.
But don't they have a new Ultra Magnus coming out?
Yeah, well, Transistor was great. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they do.
It'll be interesting to see what it looks like.
Do you have a what coming out?
Oh, Ultra Magnus.
Is it going to be a Power Armor Ultra Magnus?
I don't think so.
Fuck it.
I know you don't like that. But anyway,
I'm waiting for a Masterpiece scale Power Armor Ultra Magnus. I'll buy it. I'm not into Transformers anymore, but I'll buy that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll put the word out, Joe.
You would think there would be one,
right?
You know, I
Because
would
there
agree
are
with
other
you.
scale.
Yeah.
Even fucking
Legends.
Yeah.
2, maybe even different Legends. I think there's 2 different Legend scale ones. So Magic Square and New Age have both done
Sounds about right.
Power Armor. Anyway, actually, maybe.
I mean,
Iron Factory did
the
2
original,
different
the
ones.
original OG fans project.
City Commander. Yeah. But anyway, that's my advice number one. Don't go chasing waterfalls. stick to
the rivers and lakes of small bots.
Second one is ignore fans' toys.
Don't try to compete.
Don't try don't like it's almost like that it's almost like trying to emulate and compete made them worse. Not worse in the worst sense of the word, but just like they don't do what fans toys do. They do what X-Transbots do. So like
same genre, so that they feel like it's in a competition.
Yeah, which they 100% are in competition, but they need to just focus on what they do. Is my advice to them there. And that's enough of an introduction. We got the usual suspects here. Joe, you got your coffee first. In a weird twist of fate, he came in here dressed like a homeless person.
I'm always dressed like a homeless person. When am I not dressed like a homeless person?
He has like PJ pants on, beater, which is normal, and then a bathrobe. That's
how I roll at home.
I mean, it's a Bobby Skullface.
Yeah, we could have been bath buddies.
Bathrobe buddy booth buddies.
Christopher, how was your nerd week?
Do you have a beat? Can you give me a beat? Do you have any beats on here?
I don't have any beats on here.
Man,
I can beatbox something.
I got a fire chorus.
Want me to beatbox on?
You can, yeah.
All right, here we go.
COVID testing weed. COVID testing weed. Go to New York City. COVID testing weed. That's all it is.
I know, dude.
This is. I went to New York City.
You said that about weed.
All right. I went to New York. No, it's even. There's some minutia in here we need to get into. But let's just talk about my trip to New York. So, a lot of firsts for us on this trip. First time riding on Amtrak.
Yeah. How was it?
We did the business class, which you pay a little extra and you get your own seat.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm rusty.
And it was great.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I like train rides.
Yep. Okay. Michelle, Tamika, and Tanya. So we get to. I had asked Bobby because they had ridden the train.
Oh man, enough of that.
His family took the train.
We haven't got on the train at the same time yet. One of these days we'll all take a train trip together.
They took the train. So I had asked like how early, because I didn't know like is there any sort of check? No, this is literally like just hopping on the fucking subway.
Yeah.
And like, so we get there like an hour and 15 minutes early.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I know you told me, but I mean, just like out of habit.
Yeah,
but now that I know the vibes there's a parking garage
right there.
And I didn't know any of the logistics. So, I always get anxiety about that shit because you just don't know. But, we get on the train and you get off right there. Of course, it's cold as hell and Penn Station's gross.
Yes.
But that new train station they built, we experienced that on the way back in Moynihan or whatever.
I haven't ridden it.
I don't know. That's how we got back on the train to go back. A couple of interesting things about the train on the way back, especially. So there's a woman behind us who is on her phone very loudly, and Kelly and I both have in our earbuds, but we can still hear her talking.
You gotta keep noise canceling shits.
It was so juicy. I took out an earbud, and then I took out both of them. So she was going out, and she was either breaking up with somebody or getting broke up with on the phone. She, in great detail, explained how she got food poisoning and what that resulted in, to everyone's dismay within listening earshot.
Yeah.
And that conversation went on for a while. Yeah, and there was something about needing a U-Haul and my bike and your bike and the car and where am I going to put my stuff? She seemed kind of distraught. Well, we were ready to get off the train, and she's doing FaceTime because I see her holding the phone up, and I hear her like, "Well, you look good. You lost some weight. You look real good." And then by the end of the conversation, it was, "Hey, did you change your Netflix password?" She's like, well, yeah, I tried to log, but because, and she just kept on, and this person was apparently just stolen her. I just thought that was hilarious. I'm like,
yeah,
these people do really exist.
My dad won't.
Subway people, subway creatures.
You know how like, and not to belittle anyone's beliefs or whatever, but like there's like the type of religious person, I believe they're Jewish, but I could be wrong, but they don't use like technology on a certain day.
Yep.
They
They pay somebody to come turn on lights for them and shit.
So, but
That's crazy.
but they'll do all these workarounds,
Yeah.
right? Like, because like
The workaround in religion is
and some of them are like Michael J. Fox's Back to the Future intro, where it like wakes him up and pours food for the dog. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like you press one button, but it does all.
Yes,
like, it's like
yeah.
Mousetrap, and before you know it, it fucking starts your car for you without having to do it. It reminds me a bit of that, but like my fuck, I forget where I was going with this. Oh, what I'm getting ready to say. My dad, he won't pay for Netflix, right? Because goddamn liberals, Bob. They're fucking, you know. And my dad's not even that guy, but he just watches enough shit where his head gets fuzzy with all that. But he'll gladly use our fucking, you know what I mean, our fucking login and shit.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But he's in for a rude awakening because
Days are numbered.
days are numbered.
Days are numbered. So we get to the city and get off the train. It's about, I think it's about a 10-minute walk to our hotel. No, it wasn't the hotel I thought it was. I'd stayed at a Crown Plaza right before the pandemic, but listening in the lobby to the people working, that hotel's actually been closed the whole pandemic time, which is crazy because it was a huge hotel.
Yeah.
It was nice enough. They actually gave us top floor and everything, so it was a cool room.
That's awesome.
Yep. So we did a lot of walking. I understand now why Triple Fat Goose jackets exist because it's cold as fuck. But I mean, we both bundled up enough where it was comfortable to walk. And we had heavy coats and gloves, and I guess I discovered the reason for a scarf. I never really was like, why the fuck people wear scarf? I know now. It's cold as fuck.
He gets lost in the neck a lot.
Yeah, it does,
so to speak.
I saw a meme. It was like, whenever it's cold, I rub my body because Descartes taught Batman your arms will take care of themselves.
That's right. I think about that all the time. I don't know if it's true or not. Hopefully Descartes wasn't lying to us. We went to MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I had no idea that place was that big. It's huge.
Yeah,
it's like five full stories of this. Well, honestly, it wasn't all 5 stories because I think some wings were closed for like they were redoing
impressive stuff.
So they had a bunch of Picasso stuff there.
Wow.
And like they had Starry Night.
Wow.
And I've never seen that in person.
Right. No, of course.
I mean, most people
Right.
seen, everyone knows what it looks like.
Right.
It's not a static painting. There's so much depth to it with the paint. And a lot of the art in there, it's like, I've seen pictures of this, but I guess it in my mind is like, I have a new appreciation for going and seeing stuff like this with my own eyes, because like you can see the strokes like with his brush or his finger that he, there's depth in that paint. And I never realized that before.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Oil. That's why
it may still be wet.
it could be
they
oil
never
forever.
dry. Yeah.
But like, that's the difference with oil paintings, and also like that's why
I tell you, what also wouldn't dry. They put a bloody wash on it. I tell you that much.
There you go. Some dry brush too, man.
that's why
Make
you
it
have
pop.
you can pay extra for like canvas, like prints that are like oil.
Yeah.
So like that simulates it, but it's not the same.
I'll tell you, like,
Because when I was young, I didn't care or give a fuck either until I saw an oil painting in person. I'm like, oh, I get it. I get why people like oils now, because I'm like, this is a fucking medium.
I love a lot of like
It's almost like sculpting.
I'm not talking about Starry Night and stuff like that, but like modern, like current art. Like I like a lot of that shit. Like that, like a lot of people will dismiss.
Like a pair of glasses on the floor.
Look, man, don't do this to me. But yes, but like but this is an extreme example. But I think we talked about it before on here. But that mechanical arm that was like a robot that was like self-aware. Are you familiar with this thing?
I don't think so.
Are you familiar with this?
Sounds horrifying,
Dude, so listen to this. This is fucked. Okay.
Okay.
So this guy built this like mechanical robot arm. The mechanical robot arm leaks hydraulic fluid. It has a squeegee that's attached to the end of its arm where it can move its arm down, grab it with a squeegee, and move the hydraulic forward back to itself where it replenishes its own hydraulic
But
fluid.
it's constantly leaking.
But it's constantly leaking, and it's leaking just like a percentage more than it can handle. So this thing, when they turned it on, and it's like sentient, like a bit. You know what I mean? Like it's happy. Like it's like you know what I mean? Like it is like waving to fucking people. Like it's fucked up. This and like, but it's like squeegeeing a little bit of hydraulic fluid back towards itself, and then it's like waving to you and like doing a little dance and shit, squeegeeing a little bit of hydraulic fluid towards itself. Over 10 years, it's dying, and at the end, it's just like this sad fucking thing before it finally like kaput, and like people are just watching this fucking thing die. You know what I mean? And it's fucking horrible.
Where is this installed?
But it's also beautiful. I don't know where. I want to say it was in the Orient.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
I'm not 100% sure. Let me see if I can find a picture.
People are monsters for making things like that.
Yeah.
So MoMA was really cool. And we kind of zipped through it because some of it is like, there's a lot of photography and stuff, which was neat to see. They had like some of the first like video, like I guess video film ever done, like some very simple stuff, like kind of a history.
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna just because we're on the topic, I just want to show you guys a little bit of this. But if you search it, I just searched Google. I just searched robotic arm hydraulic fluid, and it came right up. But like, yeah, Sun Juan
Can't help myself.
Can't help myself. So they started it in 2016. Dude, it's just like a little happy arm. He's like, hey. But anyway, and then towards the end
Of its life,
it's just like, and you see like the windows and shit. Oh fuck, the windows and shit are like all like clean, you know, and like, you know, but like by the end of it, it's just a fucking nightmare, you know, like it's like there's like how it looks towards the end, and it's just like so sad and depressing and fuck, you know. But I dig that shit.
That shit is why when the robot overlords take over, they're not going to leave a single person alive. It's because we do shit like this.
That. I mean, that's a powerful piece, and it makes you feel emotion.
Yeah.
Which I guess at the end of the day, it's the artist won. Because if you feel the emotion,
Sun's
heartless Chinese people is all it is.
Yeah.
We went to Central Park. I'd never been before.
Daytime though, right?
Daytime.
Have you gone at nighttime?
It's the first time I've ever.
It's two different parks.
I would imagine.
You got to go both times.
Okay.
It's not so bad anymore, but
I went in the 90s, and that wasn't.
Yeah, the 90s was. In the 90s, it was not.
I didn't get that deep in there, so to speak.
Yeah, the 90s.
I got maybe a few feet.
The 90s,
a few yards.
Fucked.
We walked.
Turn the fuck around
before Giuliani started like violating people's rights and getting the city safe.
Everyone loved them for it.
Yeah. We went to I don't, forgive me for not knowing what it's called. There's a fountain, and then these three big archways that have steps that go down to it. It's in the John Wick movies.
Yeah. It's in a lot of movies.
Yeah, it's in, but specifically John Wick.
Yes, that one. It's good.
We went and saw that. That was cool. The first time I had.
You went there specifically because of John Wick, though, right?
Did you recreate any scenes? That's it from the top.
Yeah.
And then there's
looking for inspiration to rebuild that.
You don't know what.
There have been many people robbed in Hollywood in that tunnel.
Yeah. It's incredible. Like some of the stonework that's there. It's just it just boggled your mind how that was actually, you know, accomplished back however long ago that was made.
The craftsmanship was different back in the day. I think they took it a little differently.
They don't build them like they used to. Am I right?
They don't build them the same way. Now we'll 3D print that mold and then like cast it off some like plaster that will fall apart.
Yeah,
you know,
probably so.
Instead of like some dude probably fucking
and then a
that bitch
turtle
out.
will choke on it somehow. And by the way, bring back real straws. Have like
are there no real straws anymore? I don't use straws in
paper
general.
Straws are awful.
Look, if a couple turtles got to go. A couple turtles got to go. There's sacrifices that need to be made here.
I don't remember last time I got a straw. I don't get drinks.
So to be fair, I don't either. But if I do, in the rare occasion,
why don't you have your own personal like metal?
That's what
straw?
I'm.
But now I gotta have a holster.
You
have a holster for your goddamn vape.
Bobby, it's called a sheath.
But that's what I'm saying. I gotta have a whole bat belt now. Just carry around.
No. You get your vape. You get your little fucking sippy straw.
Listen, you strap it to. It's a sheath. You strap it to your leg.
I'm Turtle Man.
Yeah,
saving all the turtles.
Make it happen.
Do we even need turtles?
You know what I mean? But birds aren't real. Dude, have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
We went to pigeons are fat as fuck in New York City.
Yeah.
I think barely fly.
Yeah,
they're so like I've seen fat pigeons in New York City, but this was on a whole nother level.
You want to watch the God pigeons on Animaniacs? Like that's how they be.
And thuggish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
No.
They have on Tim's.
They'll slap on you, bro.
They have on Tim's in a fitted.
And New York fitted.
They'll come up and just take your food. Like, that's my food.
Yeah.
So,
And rats.
the weed.
Yeah. It's everywhere.
It's, you had said that, and there's the trucks that have the stuff, but then there's this is how I play this out in my head. Hey, Grandma, can I borrow your TV tray? What for? I just got to take it outside for a couple hours because there's this dude with like his grandma's TV tray, and he's got like some pre-rolls and some edibles, like, and then there's a dude in the corner, 10s, 20s, 40s, real weed.
Yeah.
Kind of had this call, and the CD dudes have gotten super aggressive. Like, they call me racist because I wouldn't talk to them.
This for a CD?
You know.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar.
Yeah,
I didn't see any CD people.
Oh,
when
they were like, we went.
Even I would be like, man, it's gonna be uncomfortable. Like, it's gonna be a work for me just to find a utensil to play this on.
That's what Kelly mentioned that. And then there's can anybody explain the monks with the beads? What's their end goal?
They want to get you to give them money. Did they give you books? Are they trying to give
to give us beads
Chinese,
and books.
The Chinese ones? Or the
Asian looking ones?
Yeah, they're Chinese. They're Chinese. But yeah, they like, you walk by, they'll be like in your chest.
Yep.
With like beads. Like,
no beads for me. I know better.
Yeah, they just walk along. Don't look them in the eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like
a bad dog. No talk, no touch, no eye contact.
But there's people just blazing everywhere. You smell it constantly.
Yeah.
And like,
I like it.
And the cops are like, I wonder how much
it's decriminalized.
Right, but like the guys that are like set up on the corner with their little tables.
Yeah, that is weird.
The funniest thing I saw is, I think it was Sunday morning, we walked to this breakfast place. It was brick, as they say. It was like 17 degrees. And he had there was a car sitting there running, and he has a little tray set up on the table, just I guess waiting to see if somebody want to buy some. I don't know. So strange.
It's the future, bros.
Yes,
it's the future, bros.
and then there's COVID test. It's like COVID testing weed. COVID testing weed. All down the block.
Yeah.
COVID testing weed.
Yeah.
We didn't leave Manhattan at all. So
speaking of which, just speaking of New York, I'm watching, spoilers, but for the listeners, and it's mad people, so I'm probably safe. I'm watching. I told you my sister-in-law works for HBO. She's like an accountant, basically, for HBO. But I'm watching And Just Like That this week, and like the credits are just on because I want to see the scenes after, and I saw her name on it. And I was like, look at that.
That's cool.
Nice. Look at that. Way to go, you.
Signed up. We went to, we did a little shopping, nothing heavy. I don't think I got anything while we were shopping.
Shoes?
Kelly, no, I didn't. They're
lame.
Well, I mean, I wear a 14. I hardly find
shoes just put on the detoff.
It's opposite of flex. If you look at production numbers, it's a horrible thing.
Well, it just means that you have a more rare shoe.
I guess so.
You don't just have like detoff full of shoes, bro?
No,
come on.
No. I do have clear fronts in my closet, but I don't have enough. So there's shoes everywhere.
Just to interrupt again. Are you familiar with California closets?
Yep.
I'm having them out.
Really?
Yeah, for a consultation. Like my closet.
That's what my brother does for a living.
You know what our closet.
Yeah, I have the same closet.
Didn't you just have your closet done?
No, I have my wife's closet done.
Oh, okay.
In my closet,
she has the big one, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Same,
dude. If I stuffed her in that little closet after all this shit,
it's not that small, bro. It is the size of a fucking apartment in Hong Kong, bro.
Yeah, but it's like the size of an apartment closet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a walk-in.
Barely.
So you're having them out to
to do a consultation to see if they called me back and they were like, what do you want? What are you looking for from us? And I was like, dude, I'm looking for a cheat code. And the dude started laughing. He's like, we'll help.
Cool.
See him. But their first available appointment was February 14th.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's Valentine's Day.
And I'm probably not going to pay them to do anything. I just want to hear what they have to say.
And then do yourself.
Awful person.
Well, like I said, that's what my brother does.
Really?
Yeah, I helped him install this 10 years ago some crazy ass closets, like full walk-in with like a granite slab center with it wasn't granite, it was
marble.
What's that opaque shit? You can quartz.
Oh, okay.
And it lit up and
see. My problem is that I need to optimize the space without losing corners, and it's a
challenge for sure. So we went to Macy's The huge Macy's. You guys been there before?
Yeah, 33rd.
It's 34th Street. I think there was a Miracle there.
Yeah.
And it's so strange because they've got luxury, like there's a Gucci, I don't know if you want to call it a store. There's Gucci, there's Louis Vuitton, there's
department stores. Departments.
Yeah, right. But then there's the smaller, like, I mean, I guess there's still luxury brands like Coach, and some stuff like that. And Kate Spade, you guys familiar with that brand?
No.
Well,
but I know, I got the vibe.
They had some sweaters, but the necks were all stretched out in them. I don't know if anybody will get that one or not.
I don't know if I do.
See, Kate Spade is no longer with us. Oh. She hung herself. She hung herself.
I thought it was a Robert D joke.
I was afraid I was going to have to lay it all out like that.
That's awful.
That's great.
I think those are the original escalators in there.
There are the original ones in there because we saw them.
The wooden ones.
They're
wild.
They're sketchy.
Yeah.
It's like the wooden roller coaster in King's Dominion.
Yeah,
of course I went on it for the thrill.
Yeah. So Saturday night we went to a play.
Oh,
and I let Kelly pick the play. It was an off-Broadway play. It's called I can never remember the name of it because it's not a great name.
Bobby's like
the play that goes
hates it already.
The play that goes wrong.
Okay.
And it's kind of a meta thing. So it's a play of this
play that goes wrong.
It is, but more specifically, it's kind of a meta thing. You're watching a play of a like community theater putting on dinner mystery at so and so's mansion or whatever. Uh-huh. And I have literally not laughed that hard.
Nice.
In years. It was so good that like if that ever came to Baltimore with a touring, I would go see it.
Yeah.
Because it's so funny. And we were on the third row, basically level with the stage. It was incredible.
I told Laura I would go see a play. Like, I'm not anti-play. I'm anti-musical.
That's the problem. Okay. That's the problem. So like we went and saw Beetlejuice, I don't know, last time we were up there. Mm-hmm. And it was fine. Kelly, I don't know what she was expecting it to be. It wasn't the movie. It was. No. There was a lot of variation to the story.
Right.
It was entertaining, but it's a musical. This is not a musical. I don't think there's a single song in it, which is fantastic from my point of view.
Right.
Would you watch that Avengers musical? In Hawkeye,
I would definitely
100% watch that.
Yeah.
I sat there after credits because they actually had the whole song. I watched that. I enjoy musical, bro.
That was.
I watched
stuff.
like fucking Rent on Off Broadway, Cats, Footloose, great.
Jellico. I did the 15-second skip during that in Hawkeye to see if there was anything after it.
Oh, of course you had. No, I thoroughly enjoyed that bit.
Yeah, I can't handle it, man. I can't handle it.
We ate a lot. Ate pizza 2 or 3 times. Nowhere in particular. Just
random spots.
Grabbed a couple slices, picked out.
Pizza boys,
2 or 3 pieces.
Sabaros.
Like, I remember whenever almost went there as a joke. Went to a couple diners. I had a pastrami sandwich. Or what is a sandwich? It was served on this potato. It was like a loaf of potato. I know that it's not potato bread, but anyways, it was fucking fantastic.
Did you go to Cats?
Cats?
The cold cut place.
No. Okay. No, I didn't. We went to Krispy Kreme.
Oh.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like the right choice.
I don't know. It was right there. And that's actually where we got assaulted by the CD guys.
The Donut Factory. Dude, fuck. I should have told you. It's called the Donut Factory.
Should have. But sometimes
it's on the outskirts of Chinatown.
When sometimes people want to go places, you just go there with them. It's amazing how it works. Simplicity at its finest. And let's see what else.
Oh man, I want to fucking.
We went to the GCW show at Hammerstein Ballroom, and had 4th row tickets, and it was incredible. Nice. It was a great time. Jose.
I saw. Yeah, were you there?
I was right next to him.
Okay.
He posted the whole show.
He didn't pan over to look at you at all.
Dude.
I'm like,
and he does a great job with that cam. He's just using his same phone I have, zooming in, zooming out.
Did you get sprayed with sweat and stuff?
No, I got beer thrown on me because there was a riot and people were throwing stuff in the ring, and it's like, memories.
Except you're on like the other end now.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been to many wrestling shows. It's been a while since anybody was that upset that they threw shit in the audience.
The broken tables have turned.
Exactly. And Kelly got to meet her favorite wrestler. We were actually in the merch line, and he was there, and she had on a shirt of his already, and she gave him a hug. And Jose, being Jose, somehow caught a picture of it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's absolutely
perfect. What's the wrestler?
His name's Effie.
Effie.
He's gay.
Okay.
And I say that because that's kind of his gimmick.
Yeah.
Wrestling is gay is the gimmick.
Dude, Turkish oil wrestling, man.
Where did I put that picture? I know it's here somewhere. Let me find it. But yeah, so she enjoyed herself.
Good.
That kind of made her day. But there he is. I thought that was great. It's such a great picture.
Gay.
So
Straight.
yeah. And then the train home the next morning. So a couple things. We watched a couple more episodes of Boys season 2 because
catching up.
I think we've got. It's only. I forgot how short those seasons are.
Yeah.
I think we have the last 2 to watch. We've just found out that Liberty is not who she says she is. Yeah. I've been playing this game called Wordle. Have you guys heard of Wordle?
It's on your phone? Or?
It is, but it's not on. It's on your computer.
So
it's
just with friends.
It's on a website. So this is what Wordle looks like.
Okay.
So you have 6 chances to guess this 5-letter word. Now, when you put in a word, you put in letters. Like, I already did it today, but I'm just going to play the word laugh, and I press enter. So the A and the H are in the puzzle, but they're not in the right spot.
Oh, this not Minesweeper.
Craft.
Not that. Do you remember that game that's on the fucking pegboard?
That was like jumping triangles?
No, it's on a pegboard where you have different colored pegs and this
Mastermind. It's kind of like Battleship almost.
Mastermind with words.
Kind of, sort of. Anyways, I've been playing it every day. I think I'm on like a 13-day winning streak on it. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of become a thing. I don't know. You might want to try it out one day.
I'm sure you know it because we grew up in the same era. You know.
I know what you're talking about. Where the pegs jump the peg.
No, they don't jump the pegs. They don't.
I played an aggressive version of it.
You must, because it's a guessing game. There's like one person makes a pattern and you have to guess what the pattern is within certain guesses.
Like today, I'm not going to, whatever. Nobody will hear this today. I played phase and the H and A are in the right place. So I played thank. I'm like, okay, those. And then I had that. And then played whack, fuck.
Yeah.
And that was it. So.
Nah, son.
You never seen this game?
Nah, son.
Bro. So like the one person would put a thing and then the other person would guess it.
Mastermind, yeah, I'm familiar with that. Because there was a guy on the box cover, like this bearded man. He kind of looked like he would have been a bad guy in a that dude. Yes,
we all know this guy.
No, son.
Bobby didn't roll in the same crew as we did.
Well, I never played.
He was too hard for this shit.
It was a game like my parents would play with their friends and stuff.
I played with my dad.
I'm trying to. You remember the game I'm talking about? It was at restaurants and had like little pegs.
Bro, that's the Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, that's strictly Cracker Barrel. And I saw that bitch and I was like, I felt so proud of myself.
Yeah.
All right.
The triangle. Let's go Cracker Barrel, man. I want Cracker Barrel.
I don't like it. But my dad once said, this is a restaurant that looks exactly like it sounds.
There's been lawsuits, but that's all right. The last thing is is
it the same company as a cheese, though? Oh, is it different?
Completely different.
Okay.
Is it different?
Yeah.
See, I had a question, too. I was serious because I know Cracker Barrel, the blocks of cheese, which is great. And I'm like,
it is good cheese.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think they're related at all.
Okay.
I'm almost positive.
Because Cracker Barrel has cheese on the
but they don't sell.
icon.
Do you think they would sell that?
No, they sell like random like Christmas ornaments instead.
They do. And
DVDs.
And sweaters.
You can find DVDs there.
And CDs.
Maybe CDs.
They have that CD tower of like,
yes,
you can play the
Some
play
probably
the
still
CDs.
VHS.
They might. I had began reading the Expanse novels a couple years. Finished the 3rd book, started it on the 4th book.
By paper book? Or
well, I have them because I had bought them for my dad to read, and he brought them to me last time they visited. So I've just got them sitting here. So I'm just reading them.
You're right; they are not related. The cheese in the restaurant.
I don't know if I'm disillusioned or what, but like I always wasn't sure.
And not only am I disillusioned, Joe, I'm also disappointed.
Why?
I don't know. I want them to be the same.
You'd think if it was the same, they would have had our mac and cheese is only made with the finest Cracker Barrel curded cheddar.
Curded.
I'm bummed out.
But that's it for me.
Oh, okay. Yosef?
It's been a while. Watch where we start? Bill and Ted 1, 2, and 3.
On purpose?
Chris had never seen them.
After
being with
I don't know that I've ever seen
after
any
being
of them.
with her for 13 years.
I've seen the first
I
two.
am still showing her movies. Like last week was fucking Snatch.
Yeah,
After 13 years of being with her and showing her cult classics, she still hasn't seen all of them.
So
And it keeps coming up in conversation.
how do they hold up?
Except, like, in both movies, there's one part where they're just like, fag.
Really?
Yes. Yes, I'm like that blew. I was like,
But I mean,
my whole body just like tensed up. I'm like, oh, that is awful.
It's a sign of the time, though.
It is, but well, also like at this, as the credits play, there's music usually, and then sometimes in the music there's like snippets of dialogue from the movie, and that comes up in it.
They've replayed it.
Yeah.
Oh, they put it upon the replay.
So like, other than one part, they're wholesome adventures, like they're family movies.
But it's a great poupon.
They just yell outdated obscenities, right?
Just the one thing, nothing else.
Do they like look at each other and whatever?
No, they gave each other a hug, and then they backed up and looked at each other and said "fag." And that happened in the second movie too. I don't know, similar circumstances.
So what about the third movie? Did they go for the hug
Definitely
and then not? Well, no, it'd be funny if they went for the hug and just said, "Bro," or something like that,
Or like, not cool, man.
But
bogus.
or they'd said, "Friends."
There's bogus of us, dude.
did you guys not like those movies?
I liked the first one. The second one wasn't good even when it came out.
I don't know that I ever saw them. I always thought they looked dumb.
They're supposed to be dumb,
I know, but like
that part.
almost to a point where I didn't want to watch it.
which is fine because if you like. Because some would say like Talladega Nights is dumb because it is.
Oh, it is.
But I wouldn't say that now at the teeth being that size. I wouldn't say now's the jump on point.
Oh no. No doubt.
It's like it was a movie of its day, of its time.
Yeah. Like having seen it then and now watching it,
It's endearing.
yes.
Yeah.
And then I watched the third one, which just recently came out.
How was it?
Good. It's serviceable. It wasn't. It wasn't.
Was it
bad.
better as a sequel than The Matrix? We're talking Keanu here.
I think so.
Okay, and I'm talking like 20, 30 year sequel, not like
I mean,
movie.
I do love. I mean, I love the Matrix series, and I like subjectively, I would watch the Matrix 4 over this, but like objectively, I think this did a better job.
That's fair.
Yeah, but and I really enjoyed seeing most of the old cast are back.
Oh, really?
Even like his dad, it's in the new movie. He's old as fuck.
Sure,
and he's
sure.
there, and like the stepmom is still there, being hamming it up. Because like the stepmom like married one of their dads. They're like the same age. Like when they were sophomores, she was a senior, and then when they're seniors, like she married one of the dads, and then she married the other dad. Now in this movie, she married the brother. And then the dad's just watching her make out with her brother.
That's pretty good.
Yes,
That's
like,
pretty
there's a lot of running gags that like, yeah, and it doesn't invalidate or reboot anything other that previously existed. Another throwback movie nights is Scream 1 and 2. Hold up surprisingly well.
You know, I got to be honest with you. I didn't like that movie when it came out. I was just like, huh. I think in my mind, right, I was like, I think it was sold to me as like, here comes the new next generation of like slasher character, right?
Yeah.
Like you have Freddy, you have Jason, you have Chucky, you have Pinhead, and now you have the Scream monster, the ghost. And then I was like, the Scream ghost is dumb.
It is very dumb.
Yeah.
And very incompetent. And not very scary. Like, first of all, it doesn't look very scary.
Well, Skeet Ulrich is involved.
Rose McGowan
and the Scalpy and the Scooby.
So was
Shaggy Doo.
former WCW heavyweight champion of the world, David Arquette, as well.
Yes.
That's how you always
in
have
all
to,
the movies.
You always have to list him as that.
And Courtney Cox.
Yeah.
Rose
Who is
McGowan.
still, Rose McGowan. Yep.
And
most
is
of them
Rose
still
McGowan
holds
in
up.
the new one?
She was in the first one.
She dies in the first one.
don't
Spoiler.
remember.
Yeah, in
Very long
the
time.
garage door.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you remember.
Because of her. I had a thing for her when I was a
Most people
when
did.
I was a young lad.
Most people did. You liked her in the Marilyn Manson.
Dude, in that little dress. You remember that dress?
Of course. Why would I even bring it up?
God, holy moly. Guacamole.
She's probably got some stories, but
Yeah.
I digress.
Well, her fucking head shaved now, and she's me tooing all over the place. So I don't know where that started. Might have started with in his room. You know what I mean? Because
no doubt.
She can still get it though if you wanted.
I don't know if she wants it anymore.
Wait, this is if she wanted. It's always.
I'm making her sign a contract
on video.
A love
I'm not
contract.
under duress. You perfectly want to do this, and we'll film the entire time just so that we're on evidence. But yeah, it was. Now I'm like, reinvested kind of in the universe. We watched the second one last night. I'm like, I kind of want to watch the third one, and then there's a bunch of them apparently. I only watched the first two.
Yeah.
I know recently there was, one of those late sequels. I don't know which one that is. So I don't know if it's 5 or 6 or 7. Who knows? But like, we're gonna go through them.
Scary Movie was one of the good spoof.
Yes, it was really. It's the usual suspects cross.
Yeah.
Because the Scream thing is more. The murder mystery part is more interesting than the scare, than the slasher part.
Yeah.
Whereas we were watching on Discord last night, everyone's guessing who it was. So like, apparently a lot of people didn't watch it.
Right.
So like, they were like DMing me like, "Who? Am I my guess?" I'm like, "Just watch the fucking movie. Don't bother me. But Google it if you want to know." But yeah, it was hella 90s. Like just the music, I can't recognize what the songs are, but everything they play, I'm like, man, this zooms my brain back to 1995 or where the fuck everyone was in high school.
I know Scream 2 had D'Angelo's cover of Prince's "She's Always in My Hair."
Yep,
because that's my favorite. That's my favorite Prince song.
Oh, okay.
So like and I love D'Angelo, so when he did it, I was like, oh, dude, am I controlling the universe?
But you didn't want to watch the movie,
no.
And
I really didn't care for the first one
because they were popcorn. They were blockbuster.
Yeah,
they were
for sure,
big. Like,
for sure.
It's like,
super popular.
It's a A-rated B movie.
Yeah.
And I was remembering it as if like waiting for a B movie, but like the acting was fucking spot on.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah.
So I was because in my mind I was like, oh yeah, we'll watch Scream. It's whatever.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, I'm like impressed by it now that I had lowered my expectations.
Right.
So yeah, we're gonna watch. And dude, the emergence of cell phone. This is always funny watching old movies where like, man, cell phones would change everything.
Yeah.
When like the girl was with the cordless phone was like getting bad signals.
Dude,
or
I'll
like
tell
that guy
you-
holding a handheld camcorder. I'm like, who the fuck has a handheld
It's also
camcorder?
it's made storytelling more difficult, in my opinion, because like
All problems can be solved on your phone.
yeah, so many
Well,
problems.
unless they have no signal. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
No signal.
and then they
or
have
no
to
battery.
and then they had to awkwardly shoehorn that information
Yeah.
in somehow, and it's like it's arguably worse.
Yeah, it's like first scene's like, oh man, this is bad signal here. Like, oh no shit.
Here we go.
oh, I forgot to charge my phone. It's out of battery.
Hey,
no
it's
shit.
either dead or it's bad things are getting ready to happen.
Either you drop it or you break it or the battery
Yeah.
dies
Yeah.
or there's no signal or a combination of those things.
And I was also going to say, you know what? Cell phones. I thought about this the other day. They've ruined my job in a number of ways, like culturally. Like there's a number of times when like I'm hanging out with some moppers and like I look around, like everybody's sitting there on their fucking phone. You know?
I feel like a lot of people could say in any social like environment or work workplace where you shoot the shit.
I'm not saying it's exclusive to me.
No,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
because like I don't have the experience, but
And,
I
like-
can imagine where people like warehouse jobs. I imagine where people are shooting the shit all the
Yeah.
time are no longer shooting the shit.
And I sit there and I'm looking around like, man, like there's no conversation going on here. It's just everybody's like, you just hear the random blips of people's TikTok feeds, you know?
Hey, look at this.
Yeah, dude, I hate to look at this. I hate to look at this.
Fine, next time I'm sitting
depends on
next
what
to
it
you and
is.
I'm going to show you something, I'm going to send it to you.
No, even worse. And I don't click on TikTok links 99.9% of the time because it's not a user-friendly experience. Like it takes you out of that app into another app, like or into the Safari or into the internet.
Oh, because you don't have the app on your phone.
Correct.
That's what it is. Yes.
And like I just and like I
Bro,
rarely,
you yourself, not Nerd Rage, could be a fucking star on TikTok. And saying dumb shit,
or just the
doing dumb
shit that irritates me on a daily basis.
Yes, I'm serious, dude.
But like I just that fucking like I rarely find it's 1 in a million where a TikTok video makes me laugh. 1 in a million. Like
I'm chuckling at TikTok, man.
Yeah, I'm more. You know what? I'm actually impressed with the amount of social media that you cover.
Wow.
Let me say this.
Go get a star.
Because like you'll send a link from something that you find here and there. Just the other day, I got on Facebook for like the first time in a month.
Oh, it's always crazy.
I scrolled through and I found something that I was going to save and send to you. You'd already liked it.
That's why I know on the feed.
I'm like, how the fuck does this dude get around like this while doing all of these dioramas, while playing video games and watching all this content?
Yeah, I don't know.
He has monkeys doing it for him.
Yeah, it's fucking
That's what
nuts.
it is. I've created an algorithm. Just press the likes button every third post, no matter what.
I mean, how many groups is he in?
Yeah.
At least 2 digits.
Probably
God.
3. Because a lot of the time I won't leave a group. I'll just unfollow it.
Yeah.
It's like,
We
well,
wait for them to
it's
kick
like
you out.
if I, a lot of it's stuff to do with the, my software machines and stuff. I'm like like I'm in a group for the software I used to design for the router, and at a certain point, it's like no one is going to bring anything to this group that I don't already know.
Right.
And I get tired of answering the same 12 questions. So I'm going to just mute this.
Does anybody have a good live, laugh, love cursive font?
Dude, a lot of it is, what, does anybody know what font this sign that says some girl, it says Madison with a swirl. Do anybody know what font this is?
Why don't you go to Word and just fucking find it?
It's a jet ski, and it said "Life's an adventure, ride it."
You should work at Walmart.
There's an overwhelming large group of people who make. My joke in there is if anybody's like, how do you make money with this machine? Blah blah blah. So I don't make flags and live, laugh, love signs because everybody in there is making American flags, or they're like, can somebody take this random police badge from nowhere, Ohio, and turn it into a vector for me?
I'm really looking for the silhouette of a cowboy leaning against a tree, or a woman bent over and her bloomers are showing.
You want them for the yard?
Yeah,
I got you,
course,
dog.
Obviously,
I got you.
That's where I want them. Where else would you put a woman bent over with her underwear showing, other than your front yard? Especially if she's a fat woman.
I'm gonna make it out of cheap plywood that splinters over time, and
and the handles the rain very poorly.
Exactly, that's what I want.
And I want a dog made out of springs and shit. What the fuck is wrong with people?
It's boomers, man. It's fucking boomers.
Damn.
It's just old and stuck in the old ways.
All right. I'm sorry. Continue, Joe.
No. Oh yeah, a scream. Yeah. But like every time they call, also the cell phone started showing up. Like, but not everyone had it. It was very few. They were like, because they were on a cell phone call, and the killer is talking to them on a cell phone, and they're looking, and they was like, I could see you, and they're looking around trying to find people with cell phones, and not many people have them, but they keep calling it cellular. Who has a cellular?
Dude, I want to see a period piece in like the late 90s, early 2000s, where people have to make a phone call, but they're stressed about their data. Like their peak minutes.
Their peak minutes.
Yeah.
Bro, can I call you at 8?
3 more minutes, 6 o'clock, and I call.
Oh, it's almost 9 p.m.
Almost 8, bro.
Why couldn't it be a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday?
How many fucking characters have left on my text? and the I don't. There's a name for it.
You can play a little snake.
No. Yes. But the keyboard on the phone.
You got it.
What is it?
The 3-tap one.
Yeah, what's it called? It's a name for it.
I
I don't know what it's called. I was really good at it.
Yeah, it was good.
I've gotten pretty good at it myself.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, a useless fucking skill that would never come up again.
And it was like you had to do you could build up your own predictive spelling dictionary, which was cool, I guess, that it wasn't there for you, but like, how many words are you typing?
The same letters back to back is always a pain in the ass because you had to wait for it to set in and then type the one. Yeah. And all the phones were like bricks.
Yeah.
It's
but you know what? Didn't break. Didn't shatter screens. Didn't, there's
they also didn't do nothing.
But not, they extended the little antenna.
And they play Snake.
And then I can play Sword. I usually played Swords in my imagination with it.
So I ordered a statue.
Oh.
In December 2018.
Is it a 1/6 statue, Joseph?
It's a 1/6 Battle Chasers Red Monica statue.
Oh, I remember you talking about him.
And December 2018.
3
years and a month ago.
And it has arrived.
It randomly says shipped today. I'm like,
wow.
I was like, no, that's like between then and I've been checked back on the site to make sure they're still alive. And active. I wouldn't fucked up my money, right? Because it's too late for PayPal claims. But like if they folded during COVID, like sucks to suck.
Yeah,
this is one of those
win some, you lose
gambles
some.
you do with pre-orders, right? Like I wouldn't have been too mad.
My wife's been looking at some One Piece statues that are from companies I've never heard of.
They will always be from companies you never heard of.
Well, that's
statues.
Well,
only third party.
She was asking me. I'm like,
if you would listen to our podcast,
sorry.
about statues,
which was a good one.
Yeah,
very informative.
But I told her to hit you up if you had questions because you might know of some of these.
Somebody else on Instagram hit me up about it,
and we had the best telemarketer. Did I tell you about it?
Mm-hmm.
Bro. Yeah. But yeah, so it's a pleasant surprise. I have a statue being shipped.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it was one I really like.
We're looking forward to.
There's no fucking merch for this franchise because fuck Joe Mad.
Pretty much. Fuck Joe.
And, dude, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Shout out to Eric B. He hit me up for some fitness advice. New year, new you. Everybody, new year, new me.
Yeah,
Happy New Year, Bobby.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah, no, it's past 2 weeks. 2 weeks only. I accept.
And I was like, I answered his questions to my best of my abilities, and I was like, with Twitch, if you want to join. And
He's been pretty heavy on the fitness anyway.
Yeah.
Last year
he
he
lost a bunch of weight. And he's looking good, and he's like, I don't use Twitch or anything. I was like, don't bother because it's a whole beast.
Right.
Not worth the
learning curve.
Not worth the effort.
Right.
But then he showed up on Twitch. Yeah,
nice.
Shout out. Thanks for the support. And that's it.
I have one more story from the train I forgot.
All right.
So we're sitting there, and there's a cafe car on the train. I didn't explore that, but I guess they have like sandwiches and like veggie trays and coffee and stuff. Well, the woman sitting next to, the seats are kind of staggered, so we're not right next to them, but I can obviously clearly see what's going on. So it appears to be a woman it's her husband or her traveling companion, a man. She's probably in her 50s or 60s. She goes and goes to the cafe and comes back, and she's got it looks like, when you go to like the movies and you get your kids the kiddie popcorn and it comes out a little tray and it's got the popcorn and the drink. It's like that. So she comes and she's got it there and she's snacking on it. She's got her MacBook open and a bunch of other papers and shit. Well, this woman, I don't know how she did it. She spills the coffee,
but it's
on the tray, right? Not on the computer, but like on the tray. So the cup's on the floor. I don't know if she just picks up the whole tray and everything on the tray falls on the floor. MacBook falls right on the spine. Just fucking
my God.
shit. It's like raining all this stuff down on the floor. And I'm like, oh no. Because in a normal world, I would probably have helped her pick it. I'm like, I don't want to get in it. And her husband or this man that's traveling with her, like, he's asleep by the way. He like stirs and looks and kind of like shakes his head like, I'm not getting involved with that. And goes back to sleep. I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, all right, if he's not helping, I'm not helping.
You're not obligated.
But then like, she spilled coffee again somehow by the end of the trip.
Maybe she just shouldn't get coffee on the train.
She shouldn't.
I hate it. I hate it. Clumsy bitch.
Is there no top with a sippy part on it?
No, I guess not.
She needs one of the sippy cups.
And then she had some fucking spray cleaner with her. So she was like spraying everything down.
Sanitizer.
I don't know, but that was on the same train ride with the Netflix girl. So
and one more for me was still heavy into Magic. Just still fucking Magic cards coming in left and right.
Nice.
And anyone who has fan price bro for Magic cards, hit me up.
Dude, I see Magic cards at retail all the time. I just don't know. I mean, I guess they're the current packs or whatever.
I mean, packs, yeah, but like I'm looking for singles.
Oh wow,
but like local singles.
Ain't fucking with that loose. Ain't fucking with the loose.
Yeah, I definitely get packs. I get boxes of packs, and I'm so desperate to play Magic that I started playing Magic Arena, the online Magic on my iPad.
So it's like a special spell table.
Basically, tiny little
spell
tiny
table.
little digital spell table.
Dude, love to hear it. So I got on Amazon and went through their documentary list. They've got some pretty decent stuff on there. So I watched one on Claremont and the X-Men. It talks about his entire run on the X-Men, like how he got involved with it, like his better stories, like Days of Future Past and I guess the Phoenix, all that shit. And then it talks about like, basically how they edged him out of Marvel, like once X-Men became like super corporate and, and it started making millions and millions of dollars. And like, it's kind of tragic, but what's interesting is that like the creative team there, Claremont, and these two women specifically were like, they were pretty fucking like punk rock about, their whole approach to comics and X-Men specifically and shit. I highly recommend that you check it out. If you're a fan of X-Men at all and the history of X-Men, it's on Amazon. What's interesting is the old woman that was working, not old woman, I guess she wasn't old then, you know what I mean? She's old as all hell now, but like she was on X-Men. She left X-Men and went to Superman and played a part in the death of Superman. So like she's a talent. Yeah.
I met him one time.
Yeah, me too.
Superman?
Yeah.
Which one?
All of them at once. I met Claremont.
Dean Cain?
It was not Dean Cain. Although the place where I met Claremont, it would not have been.
Is that a new bisexual one?
It would not have. It would have not have.
I don't know which one that is.
It would not have been unusual for Dean Cain to be signing. This was at the. The last they had just started doing like a con in Huntsville, in Alabama.
Where are you from?
Yeah, it is called the Rocket City, but that's okay. And they had him there signing, and I knew Dust was a huge fan of Claremont. So I went to a guy that I knew that was selling comm, like, hey, I need an attractive Claremont cover where clear enough spot for him to sign. And it was, I don't remember, it's one of the, it's the Cyclops is walking away, and there's a large blank space right there. Take it to him, and hey, how you doing? $20, whatever. I'm like, could you mind signing in that space? He's like, no, he signed over the logo, and just over the X-Men, he gives it the business. I'm like, this motherfucker, I could have bought like a book just to get a signed book. I could have bought a book because a book was like $30. So I could have bought a book for like $10.
I'll tell you what, after hearing this story, it makes sense.
It makes sense based on just a little bit you just gave me.
Yeah, that's great.
That was the same con that I met Joey Fatone from NSYNC, and he bought a toy from me.
No shit.
He told Mason to stay in
He's a
school.
pretty cool dude, man. I threw shit on him, I think. But
I think it's called Row Gun. It's like this. His arms swing up, and you can put caps in it, and it's like a rifle. You'd recognize it if you saw it. I had one of those.
Did you take a picture with him?
No.
Why not?
Why?
Okay. I'm up to date on Peacemaker.
Okay, I am up to date. I haven't watched today.
Oh, did one come out today?
I think it's every Wednesday.
Oh, I thought it was Thursday.
Maybe it's Thursday. I don't know.
Maybe it's Wednesday. I don't know.
Either way.
Yeah.
By next week.
I'm sorry, I left that out. We're up to date on that.
I'm loving it. I wrote stays on point. Characters are starting to connect with one another. It's smarter than it seems.
Yep.
Like it's well done.
Dude's got a fucked up life, man.
Yeah,
it's like he's trapped in this situation.
And there's real heart that's coming through in it. You know, like it's.
I never saw the heart coming though.
But on the surface, it seems like it's just going to be like, you know, boys with toys, and you know what I'm saying, like
hey.
No! But like, you know, it just seems like it's going to be like you know, like make jokes about your nuts and fart on people's faces, and, you know what I mean, like. And it is that,
but it's deeper.
But it's deeper,
so to speak.
Yeah, so to speak. And
Boys with Toys was deep.
The only thing I don't care about, the vigilante, the guy, I'm
loving him.
You do. It kind of grades on my nerves, and I guess that's the point.
Yeah, I think you would like him a lot too. This character, vigilante. I'm gonna pull up this scene before he leave to check out. It's quite.
I'll probably get to that before I get to.
Yeah, you wouldn't be wrong. Watched Just Like That, the newest episode of Just Like That, the Sex and the City sequel.
I didn't see any of them bitches while I was in New York City. But Horseface and her husband are in a play that they're previewing. Well, what is it? It's
Old MacDonald.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. She plays a wide range of characters in the film.
You almost got diaper smear all over your displays, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, Diet Birch Bear would probably melt all these books. What was the name? It's a famous play. I can't think of the name. Anyways, but her face was very large and prominently displayed next to
life size,
next to Matthew Broderick.
So anyway, just for those that are listening, or for those that are watching it at all. And I've been talking a little bit like Miranda and her. She's getting, you know, her husband. She's getting ready to leave her husband. Yeah. Well, she told her husband that she's been cheating on him with this non-binary comedian. She just left him.
Who's
basically
playing the comedian?
I don't know her. I don't know if I've ever seen her either. She's catching a flight to Cleveland to surprise them. And when I say them, I mean one person at their comedy show. And I think that person is going to be very upset to see them there.
Yes, and also like in real life advice: don't fucking surprise people. Not surprise visits. Don't surprise visit people.
Don't go out of your way. Like a flight is too much. Because I would love a surprise visit from you, Joe. If you just, hey, I'm here. Come on, let's do something.
Maybe it depends on the. Not everyone likes surprise visits.
True, that's true.
I would say a lot.
Know your audience.
Know your audience. Because I feel like oftentimes you're just getting caught with your pants down. Could be literally.
Yes. Yes. So I think it's going to be headed for disaster. And there's a really like heartfelt moment when she's telling her husband that she's going to leave him. And he's like, look, Miranda, like he's not even like upset. He's just like, we go through this every 5 years or so. Like you get stirry, you need to go do something else. And I'm the one that has to rally together to keep our family together. I'm not doing it this time. And like, it was like, you know what I mean? But it was a good little moment. Yeah. And also there was mad dicks in this episode for whatever reason. Hey! I mean, there was mad dicks in it. Like I was like, man, like there's like one that's like this like obvious fake dick.
Stunt cock.
Yeah, like it's like yeah, for sure. And then there was one that was like a real dick flopping around. It was just a lot of dicks in this episode. It was like Game of Thrones, like wiener, 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 one wiener, another wiener.
Great episode, South Park.
So yeah, watch that. I have Laura. I've been doing a lot of the dioramas. And Laura and I have been watching a Scientology documentary.
Oh, is more?
The Leah Remy series.
Oh, okay. How is it?
It's quite good. But you know what it's got me?
I worry about it being too focused on her and being too like...
It's not. They do obviously deal... She's the host.
Yeah.
But you know what? She's pretty... First of all, she's easy on the eyes for me, in my opinion. But she's also like...
So she was going to say about the bill.
Was she really?
When they worked at the beach club.
Oh, okay. All right. So she's very self-aware in it.
Yes.
Like she's like they're like going through this one. She's like, I love how people are going to get this impression that this is how I just get out of my bed and walk towards the door. Like I just didn't spend 2 hours in makeup. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, all right. I'm you know what I mean? I like to hear that.
Yeah. And like, just I want like the stories to be the focus, not over dramatized.
No, they're not over dramatized, and it's pretty much just people telling their story.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's Leah and this other girl, the other dude that escaped. Interviewing them.
What basically. What channel?
Netflix.
I thought you were about to cancel that.
Yeah, when we're done.
This is what you're watching.
Yeah.
But I watched Tiger King 1 and 2. I forgot to say.
Oh, did you?
I mean, not Tiger King. Tiger King season 2 and the spinoff. And the spinoff.
Yeah,
bro.
Not bad,
So
right?
good.
Yeah, like it's got a bad rep,
dude. I bet the like all these people, like animal poaching people, whatever they are, probably they're fucking all big mad.
Did you
on
see,
this guy because like there's so much spotlight?
Did you see when they tried to go to the Trump rally to like just be part of the crowd? And the Trump rally people were like,
"This is about America."
But yeah, and they were like, "None of us want to hurt animals. Get the fuck out of here."
It's funny. 2 Scientology things real quick. One, you always forget that they have a presence because one of the places we went to was right by the Church of Scientology. And the sign, big old long sign. And then we were watching, I think it was Seinfeld that was just on when we were getting ready or something. And there was a Jerry has like some sort of interaction and pisses off a Scientologist.
Really?
And this was like 97, 98.
Wow. That's
like,
fucking Larry, man.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But I'll tell you, like, you know what I'm surprised about in like the kind of cancel culture, Me Too, you know, you have to have your pronouns and your hashtags all on point in your Twitter profile, that community hasn't really gone out for Scientology with the way that they hurt people consistently.
It's because, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think it's that like they're not public enough to. It doesn't give any brownie points to go after Scientology. Basically.
Maybe that's what it is.
Everyone's already after them, and everyone knows what they do. And like Scientology doesn't promote itself in that way. But I don't see Scientology commercials and.
But there's been like certain grassroots, like Anonymous went after them and shit. Like there's been certain grassroots efforts.
Yes.
It just seems like it's a little surprising that like Tom Cruise can do an interview or announce that he's going to do Mission Impossible 7 and 8, and everybody's just kind of.
Or
like,
he's building a film studio in space. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's true.
I remember as a child, there would be commercials on TV for Dianetics from L. Ron Hubbard.
Dude, so I did Dianetics.
The Volcano book.
And DC Mall, they used to do that shit all the time.
I don't know what Dianetics is.
So I was working on the loading dock, and we had to go move.
It all started.
And we had to go move furniture at a building in DC, and we stopped at the DC Mall,
right,
for something to eat for lunch.
There's tents and shit all the time for different events, but Dianetics was one of them.
And they had like it was like they have like a little meter,
and it has, e-meter, bruh.
Yeah, and it has 2 like they look like batons. They're metal,
Coke cans,
and you hold them. And they're plugged into this meter, and they ask you questions, and then you watch the meters. And like they were asking me questions, they were like, you know, like, are you dating anyone? And I was dating Laura at the time, and I was like, yeah. And they were like, how's that? I was like, it's good to go. And you know, little meters, and they were like, you know, what about your dad? And I was like, yeah, dad's cool. And they're like, I don't know, like any loss in your family? You worried about any loss? I was like, oh, I'm worried about my grandma's loss. It hasn't, you know, I'm sure she's getting older, but I don't, you know. And they're like, okay, well, you know, I'll be honest with you. How's your mom? And my fucking like that, my arrows, my like little, they went to the other side, and they started like. tapping against the plastic.
They're trying to go further.
And the woman was like, I've never seen this happen before. You should. I say it all the time to everyone that comes up that you should buy a Dianetics book, but you actually really should buy a Dianetics book. And I was like, no, thank you. I'll be not okay on my own. Thanks. But
was it the same kind of though? Was it the same kind of handles like in an arcade that like tells you what kind of kisser you are? You hold these two things.
Yes, except
is it the same? It's the exact same equipment.
It's the exact same.
That's what it is.
They just got it.
And I'm sure it measures your body temperature and pulse and stuff like that, and that's what it's feeding off of.
Yeah.
But like,
because naturally, what your stress reaction will have biological effects.
100%. Okay, so, and I think I only have two other things to mention. One being, I watched the first 4 or 5 episodes of The Expanse.
Nice. More than 3.
Here we go. These are the notes I made just so that I can remember. Love the world. Mars versus Belt versus Earth. Very cool system set up with a lot of potential great drama.
Which it will be.
Black Keys music seems entirely inappropriate.
Black Keys, what do you mean?
Black Keys,
the band, they play Black Keys in the first episode. An astronaut gets hurt while working on outside, and they play a Black Keys song.
Okay.
It's just like, I think it took me out of it because I was like, man, this isn't even a song.
It would have been classic rock, super classic rock.
But it's not. But it's not a song that'll survive the time that way.
I don't remember any other. There's not a lot of popular music.
So I didn't see any in the other
that
ones.
That might have been. And keep. I do
pilot.
I do want you to keep in mind the first.
I'm fine.
The first 2 or 3 seasons was on Sci-Fi, so it might have a little. But I will say that they re-edited all the episodes from Sci-Fi when they put it on Amazon to take out that, the commercial break where it blacks out.
Right.
So, but that, I think that may be the only popular music that's in the whole thing.
I do like the old Indian woman.
Yes, she's great.
She seems like an interesting character. However, I'm not bonding to any other character.
Not yet.
I figured you would be all about Amos.
Who is Amos?
He doesn't. He only watched 4 episodes. Like, these characters built up over time.
So Holden's the leader. He's the guy, the tall guy with dark hair. Amos is the guy that's like got the rolled up sleeves and tattoos.
Yeah. So
he was from Baltimore.
He seems a little much for me. Like a little like.
He did at first for me too, but like. I don't know. Like I said, the characters really fucking build on themselves.
So I wanted to show you this, and I didn't know you had watched it, but this is how much detail they put. This is Avra Sarala, who's the Indian lady, as you said, putting in her. She cusses a lot, but there's her autocorrect for fucker.
Yeah,
because it knows her so well.
I like her the most.
Yep,
she's great.
She's fantastic,
interesting,
and she grows so much. She grows so much in this show.
She has a presence, like
yes,
when she acts, I'm like, there's something behind her eyes, or something behind her, like I'm not really getting that from any other of the cast.
Okay,
to be honest. Last thing I'm going to end on.
I'm trying to remember what 4th episode.
Yeah, it's so long ago. I don't remember who all was introduced yet. I don't know if Alex is there. I don't know if they got.
It was just these people that were on this ship.
Yeah, so it's Alex, Amos. Are they on the Martian ship yet?
Yes.
Okay.
The one guy's been revealed to be an ex-Martian Navy.
Yep. That's Alex. Okay. So that's where you are right now?
Yeah. I'm a little bit past that.
All right. Did someone die yet?
Yes, one person did die. The person the person that sacrificed was willing to sacrifice himself to save the ex-Martian.
Yeah, to save Alex, and then the fucking random space debris.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Leia. This is a Leia story. The baby.
So, are you going to continue to watch it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. We did our Wu-Tang show for Bobby Boogie Bop for February. It's 4 hours and 10 minutes. Takes the lead for the longest running Bobby Boogie Bop episode to date. Afterwards, whenever we do these, we always go upstairs and usually order pizza and put on the playlist that we worked off of for the night to celebrate and dance and whatever. So Cream comes on, and Raekwon says, "Every week we made 40 G's." And the baby says, "I make a lot of G's at school. It's not good."
Oh, man. She thinks they got that 3-line paper out, and they're just doing circles and a J. You should have said, wait till they show you what an uppercase cursive G looks like. It's wild.
It was pretty great. It was a pretty great moment. And that's it. Okay, so news, a lot of deaths this past week. We lost Meatloaf.
Yep.
74, so pretty good run.
Yeah.
You know, especially for a rock star. I got to be honest. God bless the dead, you know, of course. I never liked the song. The song.
I do anything for love,
yeah,
but I won't do that.
Yeah.
I like it.
I liked it too.
I could never get into it. I could never get into it.
Because I would do anything for love.
I was just like watching it and I was like, I don't know. So I told you, when it comes to music for me, the first thing that attracts me is the record, right? So if I hear the record in a vacuum, it starts at like a C, like almost, like even if it's perfect.
Okay.
And then the next thing I do is I go to explore other songs or past songs, previous songs. And if that is good, then you go up to a B. Mm. And this is as an artist grade, not as a song grade. Like the song could be an A+. I could love the song.
Like One Hit Wonder.
Yeah, I could love the song forever. But in my head as an artist, now you go up to a B. Then I need to see what you look like. And I need it all to match.
Bro,
it's important for me.
Shallow AF.
But not really. Because it doesn't mean you have to be attractive. Do you know what I mean? Like you can be like Biggie. Unattractive male. Perfect. Fit. Perfect. You know, pun. Same, right? Except I would say that he was an attractive, like he wasn't an unattractive male. He was overweight, but he wasn't unattractive. Like Biggie was fat and ugly. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Like, he knew it though.
You know, Pun was like a handsome guy that was fat. You know, but like when I remember seeing the music video first, and I hated the image. You know, like, because there's effort that's put into that. That's not just Meatloaf rolling out of bed. Like, that's all part of it, right? It's all part of the presentation of how they want this record to be seen.
Right.
And I could never get into it. Obviously, you know, super well respected, legend, etc.
I liked it more that he wasn't, I guess. That I don't know.
See, I didn't need him, once again, I didn't need him to be attractive. I just didn't want him to look like he worked at the porn store.
But I don't know. Or
the comic book store in South Park.
Sometimes I feel, sometimes I like the image of things more when I'm like, yeah, that's that dude that I could walk by the street and like he has feelings too, type deal. Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair. I just, for whatever reason,
and also like him in Fight Club, bro.
Yeah. He's great. He's great there. He's great there. It just didn't work for me. For whatever reason.
Yeah, I get it.
And it happens most often with me with rock songs. Like where I get into like a rock song and I'm like, man, I fuck with this and that.
No, it's just like you don't want fucking Jack Trent wrestler because
exactly.
I don't know if it's a specifically you thing, but I can see that. It could fuck with a lot of people.
Yeah, it's like the image is like it's part of it, you know. And in the same breath, you can't tell me that Marilyn Manson and Trent Reznor and Tool and you know that they didn't Wu-Tang, that they didn't have a conversation about the image at one point,
specifically,
you know,
like,
and how it's going to be presented. It's all part of it, you know. It's one big like art piece.
Yeah, it's not necessary that like if they were never an artist that they would choose to spend that amount of time to look like that.
Correct.
Rolling out of bed every day.
Correct.
As a character.
Yeah. Louis Anderson passed away.
You know what? I thought he was already dead. Not a joke, but like I thought he was already dead when my coworker said he's dead. I'm like, oh, he was alive.
So I will say about this.
But I think I was mixing him up with John Candy.
Oh, that's fair.
Because like, didn't they both have a
all
cartoon?
Fat white guys look the same.
They both had cartoons.
I don't know. Probably.
Like, did you watch Louis Anderson cartoon? Wait, he talks. He voiced himself.
So I'll tell you, I think his greatest role. There's a show called Baskets. It's on Hulu. It stars Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, okay.
And Louis Armstrong plays his mother. It's fantastic.
So I'll say I've not seen this piece of work. With that being said, for me, it's fucking Coming to America.
Yeah.
Like it's one day I'll be on Fries, and that's when the real money starts. I mean, I say that, you know what I mean? Like, I say it all the time. Like when I'm at work and I'm doing something, and they're like, "Hey, man, great job." I'm like, "Hey," and one day I'll be on Fries, and that's when the real money starts rolling in. Like it's part of my vernacular, you know. So, rest in peace to that dude, and then rest in peace to this other dude that I don't really know well, but he worked on Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Gaspard Ulliel dies in a skiing accident.
Damn. And what, died in what he loved, hopefully?
The two dudes were asphyxiating him as he was jerking them off.
Wow.
Too soon?
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know who the actor was either. I just said he played some sort of baddie in this Moon Knight trailer.
Yeah, I don't know. But I figured since we were, I wouldn't have even commented on this. I don't even know him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even comment on this had we not been doing all these other deaths. But because we were doing all these other deaths, and we're going to talk about the Moon Knight trailer a bit. Alex Milne, apparently, we talked about him last week. He had a metatarsal removed from his foot.
Toe? It's a toe.
And is doing fine.
Good.
Or is recovering.
Hopefully it's not a diabetes thing.
Is recovering. Is it metatarsal's a toe?
Yeah, a
I
tarsal.
thought it was the bone that connected to your toe.
a toe bone.
Yeah, but it's like not the because phalanges are toes, right? Phalanges are fingers and toes.
Yes.
But the metatarsals are like the group of bones like here, like at the knuckle.
He's looking it up.
I thought. And then the tarsals are behind that, right?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been in health class.
That's what I was saying. It's those bones, the bones in your foot. But I don't see how you would not take a toe off if you took one of those.
Because they're the equivalent of a finger bone. The equivalent of the first digit of your finger.
That's true, but they're in the foot.
Yeah.
They're like
But I guess what he's saying is he didn't lose a toe. They took it all the way down to...
And I think that you're fucked. Like, let me say this.
Like
let me say this. I hope you have a full recovery. But
it depends on which one.
But I actually think that when you fuck with the metatarsals is when you actually can cause some serious damage to your potential of successfully walking.
Yeah, your balance.
Here's a detailed chart of the different names of the parts of the foot.
Yeah, phalanges.
Metatarsals, tarsals.
Phalanges is a perfect name for these.
Phalanges.
I feel like.
Intermediate phalanges, distal phalanges.
Anyway, so glad to hear it. You know, congratulations. Hope you have a full recovery. Blizzard of a buyout.
No.
So, do you know anything about this, Joe?
Microsoft bought him. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but like, what is it? How does that strike you? What is it? Does it mean anything to you?
Blizzard's been on the decline for years. They're
it's Activision Blizzard
because Blizzard's been on the decline for years since Activision's bought them out, and now fucking even another bigger company is buying them out.
You know what's going to happen?
They've been selling out and having all kinds of issues with Me Too's and harassment.
I heard they had a huge harassment case.
Like, and the thing is, they're living off of legacy. They're living off of the name Blizzard, which was big, which was much beloved back when they were just Blizzard,
mainly due to
Diablo
and that movie,
Overwatch.
Warcraft. World of Warcraft, yes.
Not just Warcraft, all of them.
Okay. Also,
1, 2, 3.
Don't forget, probably the most profitable of all those is Candy Crush.
You're probably right.
But like back when those were made, back in the 90s, back in the early 2000s, they're a much beloved company that did great things and had great people working. Those people have left a long time ago. Blizzard is just a name. And then Activision bought them out, and then now, so like, I think Blizzard's been like not a good company for a long time. Like some people, because they had their own convention, BlizzCon. People loved that shit. People were, but a lot of companies have gone down that way with being bought out and being shitty.
I think now it'll just make games be Xbox exclusives.
And Bethesda's the same way. Bethesda used to be like, I used to be rep Bethesda because of the hometown. I fucking work in Bethesda, and they were a great company. They had all the Elder Scrolls series, Fallout series,
right? And
then they got I think Microsoft bought them too. But anyway, they've been on decline. They start being fucking money grubbing because like. You made money because you made good shit, not because you were money grubbing. And then you now you want more money and you're going to put microtransactions in every fucking bit of every single game.
Right.
Now is when you're going to start losing money.
Well, what happens
is losing faith from the fans.
Solid.
A company is successful. They take it public. The board of directors wants somebody more aggressive as the leader. And that's when they're like, well, we can do the same thing, but add all this microtransactions.
But then they don't because like they get backlash or they get
well, we're going to lean on the name and put out some shitty games. Right. We know that.
That doesn't last forever though. Right. It's so short-sighted for business in general to do that.
Microsoft.
Right. And but the only company that as far as I know that's still on up and up that were part of the beloved group is CD Projekt Red.
Oh, they're not beloved, but
not anymore. I know
they're not.
Since I'm
still waiting on the Cyberpunk next gen patch.
Since Cyberpunk as a big fuck up on the release, and also like they always were about not doing crunch, and then they start doing crunch.
What's crunch?
Crunchyroll.
I love
sushi.
Crunchyroll.
Both
the sushi and the app and the.
And a roll with little almond crusts on top.
Almond crust? You obviously don't. What? Almond crust?
Little like almond crumb.
No, tempura, bro.
No, I'm saying also one of these. Also one of these.
I don't know.
Just a little crunchy roll. Maybe put a roll in a toaster.
Oh, like a bread roll.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's East versus West.
No, I already acknowledged and respected yours, Joe, as a very
South
modern, it's a very modern middle-aged white man, Joe. I acknowledge your cultural, ethnic traditions, and then moved on to another variety.
So does that make you an
Dude, this is going to be a super.
The thing is, you're going to be stuck, and it's going to be hilarious.
Modern understanding.
MM2M?
Yes.
MMWM.
Yes, Joseph, or I should say in your native tongue.
Be like water.
Be like water, my friend. I don't mean to, Yeah, I'm gonna do so. Maybe my new character.
Like the Dice Man. People are gonna get stuck doing a character. It's gonna be hilarious.
Wait till I have Evan, who I wouldn't certainly say his name, and then have to cut the show and then edit out his last name.
Never.
That would never happen. But wait till I have
first
him
name,
back.
last names, and people's full addresses on here at all.
You guys should text him and tell him to come back at 443.
Crunch is when a game needs to be they're pushing a game out at a certain time, and they fucking force everyone to work all these extra hours in order to get it out. Like people are like sleeping in the office, working
like crunch time.
20 hours a week in order to get this game out at a certain time. They were always like, we don't do that to our
people,
employees. I think they were doing that for Cyberpunk and still didn't get it out good.
Right.
But
I'm still waiting to play that again once they finally supposedly first quarter they're dropping the next gen patch.
But to on the other side of things, just I have a friend that works in game development, but he's like that is the thing that is shitty of companies to do. But there are times when it's like people are procrastinating. People are like, this project's due a certain time. They're like, I can put it off, and then shit's not done, and then the company has to be like, well, it's crunch time,
right?
So like it's hard to say, but crunch is definitely a bad thing.
There's a new and awful Dracula movie coming
with Nicolas Cage.
No, I don't think so. It's called Dracula. Let me just pull it up.
Is it better or worse than Dracula 3000?
So it looks horrible. I mean, I haven't seen Dracula 3000. I saw Dracula the whatever, like the Untold.
I like that one.
Yeah, I liked it too.
I'm waiting for a sequel for that.
This looks far worse. So it's funny you say that. This looks awful. And Van Helsing is a female, and like
that's already a series with her, a female Van Helsing. I think.
Is there?
I think so.
So I'm not familiar with it, but this is, in my opinion, it's called the original living vampire. To me, it's an attempt to tell the original story of Dracula, like a modern attempt at telling the old story, and like the sex of characters doesn't always matter,
right?
But in Dracula, it kind of does. Dracula is one of those characters where the females that are in there are very specific, and for very specific reasons, and the fact that another male and Dracula have to head off is also kind of interesting for the dynamics of this character.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read some comments.
Okay.
We need Dracula Untold sequel, not this.
Yes, please.
Here I am, still sitting over here waiting for a part 2 of Dracula Untold. Looks like a late night sci-fi flick. They're trying to piggyback off the promotions for Morbius. How do I know this? The tagline, the original living vampire. Morbius was called the living vampire in the comics because his vampirism was the result of science. Dracula Untold was and has been the best Dracula movie to date. Disagree, but it is a good one. Bet it goes straight to DVD. Also, might give it a try if included on Amazon Prime. It's almost like a bite. This dialogue is awful because there's like a girl with 2 obvious bite marks in her neck, and they're like, it's almost like a bite. The Hellsing manga and its anime, Hellsing Ultimate, ruined most other vampire lore for me because they were so amazingly good.
They're not that good.
Oh, well,
they're good, but it's way overrated. It's just legendary because it's old and the art is good.
Gotcha.
The story itself is.
This looks like a Lifetime original take on Dracula.
Hallmark Dracula.
Dracula Untold. Oh wait, never mind. No original. So original. I'll give it a try just because I love vampires. Why won't they continue with Dracula Untold?
I didn't know people liked that movie that much. I thought I was like
I don't even know what
I
that
thought
is.
I was one of the very few people who liked that movie.
How long ago did it come out?
It's a while now. It's kind of like a
reboot.
prequel story tell, right? Of if memory serves, like how Dracula became Dracula.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's the same guy that played the guy in The Hobbit.
I only watched the original black and white Nosferatu. That's all I need.
Oh man, nah,
That's the jams.
Yeah.
Yep.
Joe just did an impersonation of Nosferatu. Pretty awesome. No, that Francis Ford
Not the
Coppola.
Nostromo. Not the ship from Aliens. Bob.
No, not that. Nosferatu is what I said.
Okay.
But
Dark Shadows was good.
You should see Shadows of a Vampire about Nosferatu, the filming of Nosferatu, where like it's meta like.
Is that the one from like the late 70s? No.
90s.
That's awful.
90s. This is good. Nicolas Cage is in it.
Of course.
Not because it's good. In fact, it's the anomaly. But like, it's about the film crew going to Transylvania to film the story of Dracula.
I'm sure that's funny then.
No. Then they find a real vampire living in the mountains to be the vampire on set, so that Nosferatu in the film Nosferatu
I'm not familiar with this at all.
is an actual vampire. It's a pretty fucking awesome.
What's it called?
Shadow of a Vampire.
Shadows of the Empire?
Yes. It's a video game. The second level is super hard, and the Wampa is like next to impossible. It takes like 1 million laser bolts to kill him. All right. Then there was the Boys Diabolical, which I showed you guys before.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it's good fun. Little animated shorts. The dude slipping into the pile of guts, and it all being in like that very Looney Tunes feel made me feel good for some reason. Day and Night, the Moon Knight trailer. Did you guys happen to watch that?
I did. I saw it.
This is a new trailer. I watched it.
It's the only trailer.
Then did it just come out?
It came out last week. It came out like the day after we recorded.
Yes. I'm like,
what do you guys think about that?
So all I know about Moon Knight is
From that book
a book you read. So it's a guy who's batshit crazy and is possessed by an Egyptian god.
schizophrenic. I wouldn't call schizophrenic batshit crazy.
Depends on the level of schizophrenic.
I really think you're missing the meta point of the bat shit crazy. Since it's like
it's like a Batman.
Yeah.
So let me say this: this is the Marvel show that I'm most excited about in the history of Marvel shows on Disney Plus.
But I feel like they have the most potential to fuck it up.
I agree.
Out of everything, they can really fuck this one up.
And one of the reasons they can fuck it up is I think they have the freedom to fuck it up because it's not. There's fiction, but I think the fiction varies a lot over the time. But also,
it's because it is a dark subject and a dark character, and it deals with mental health and shit. Like, you can really ham it up too hard.
And I worry about his craziness being overdone a bit
and
just from
goofy.
That trailer. Yes, exactly.
Like, it's not Deadpool crazy. This is
this needs to be almost horror.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think.
And Oscar Isaac's amazing.
Yes,
it's just the direction. The
wish we had a Hot
second
Toys
time he played a super powered Egyptian person.
Yeah,
as Phil pointed out.
But he, I'll tell you, I just don't know. I don't know. I think the suit looks cool.
Yes, I love the suit.
I love him jumping across the rooftop and it turning into the Disney Plus thing. Like that was well done. I think it could be great. But I'm really worried about what I saw of his acting, and he is a phenomenal actor.
Yep.
If he fucks this up, it's not on him. It's on whoever told him to act this way.
Like when he was playing Apocalypse?
Yes.
Because like if you watch AI, he's
amazing. That shit I was telling you guys that I watched last year, the scenes from a marriage or whatever, was basically just a play with him and one other character.
Yeah.
And he carries it. At least 50% of it, if not more.
What's that movie? Is it Ex Machina that he's in?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
It's him and Hux.
Him and Hux. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's a fantastic movie.
And his acting is fantastic.
There's only 4 people in that whole movie.
Yeah, I would see a play of that. All right, and then lastly, R.I.P. the Justice League. So I'm going to read this real quick. Justice League 75 is coming, and in 75 they're killing off the cast of the Justice League to include Aquaman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Superman.
Who cares? Died already. Any of those people haven't died yet?
So he said it's very serious. William said it's an interesting opportunity to do this on the 30th anniversary of the death of Superman, which happens in Superman 75. We get to take Justice League 75 and do the death of the Justice League. We want people to understand this is serious. This is going to have a major impact on the DCU moving forward. I remember the experience of reading the build-up to Death of Superman and waiting in the rain for my copy of issue 75. I think one reason that story was so powerful was that after the funeral for a friend story, there was no Superman comics for 3 months. That's part of what led us to make the decision that this is the last issue of Justice League, but then 3 months later, there's still not going to be a Justice League comic. It's going to be a while, and that's going to be a major part of the DCU. Looks like in history, there's no Justice League. My reaction when I read the script was, wow, this is going to be huge. Right after that, I started thinking, how do I approach drawing this? This is a big battle with lots of characters and also very critical and sad moments, so I thought of some movies that I could use as a reference. Lord of the Rings helped me plan some shots, etc., etc., etc.
Lame.
So I
understand people that care. Like I don't mean to like be callous, but like it's fucking stupid to me. It's fucking lame, and I don't fucking care.
So here's the thing: is that like all I care about is whether or not any given comic book story is good. So if this is good, good. That's it for me. Yeah. That's where the sun rises and sets with me. Like this is popping up in pop culture. DC has figured out a way.
How many times did they say this is serious? Just the fact that you have to say this is serious.
But DC has figured out a way that Marvel, to be fair, hasn't. To keep their comic books in the news.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No one cares.
When's the last time you heard about a Marvel comic book in the news? But like DC, Superman is gay. He's not gay, Jim. He's fucking bi. Oh, Superman's bi. I'm sorry.
I can see Batman's dick.
Exactly. You know, like they keep figuring out a way
with the internet culture.
They keep figuring out a way to make themselves like
they've got some people. They've got some people on their social media team that get spoken about. That get it, and they've like
figured out a clickbait.
Yeah.
Well, they've figured out a way to spin these stories to get attention.
Either or. But here's my thing. Talking to people, I'm getting two different types of people, right? I'm getting one that's the normie that's saying like, dude, they're going to kill off the Justice League. And then I just say, they are. And they're going to find a way to bring them back. But yes, that's what's going to happen. And I was like, this isn't the first. This is what happens in comics. They kill them, they bring them back. And then I'm getting the other person that's the comic book nerd that's saying, but they're going to bring them back. And like my thing is, I don't care. I don't care that they're going to bring them back, and I don't care that they're going to kill them. What I care about is whether or not this specific story is good when I read it. Yeah. And that's it.
I think it's just because I have canon baggage. When I read something,
that's a great way to put it.
If it's something that exists already, I cannot divorce myself from it. I'm the same way with you. With stories being good on their own merit, that's why I'm always harping on anime and manga. There's not saying they're not bad ones. There's tons of bad anime and manga, but each of them are individual without baggage. I can watch the story as it's told, judge it on its own merits, move on to a different world. Right. Because like, I think Death of Superman mattered because that Superman didn't die before that, did he? That was the first time he died, right? That was a big deal. It was in the newspaper.
Yeah. Well, but see, same
thing.
Had
my mom standing in the cold to get me a copy.
Yeah. I mean, I stood out to get it, but I don't. To be fair, I don't know. It was the first time. It was the first time they definitely marketed it as death. Yeah. You know, for all I know, they killed him in '56. Yeah. You know, and he came back the next episode.
But from what all we collectively
Jimmy
remember,
Olsen saved him.
That's when that's when he died.
Like, right. But we knew then he wasn't going to be dead forever.
I didn't.
Okay, so like. It was even when they killed. When did they kill Wolverine?
Which time?
It wasn't. It was like in the 2000s or like.
The Superman died in the 90s, didn't he?
Yes.
So, yeah,
but when they killed Wolverine, I also there was never a minute where I was like, well, that's it for Wolverine.
I will give them a credit. They took like a year though. They took a break with it wasn't like immediately. It wasn't like he was clawing out of the dirt immediately.
Well, they took a long time with Superman.
3 months?
Well, no.
Because there was the 4 Supermen.
That's right. Because
I still have those comics.
Listen, yeah, it was good, and that's a good story.
Steel, like nobody knew Shaq was getting involved.
Superboy, Eradicator,
Cyborg, Superman,
and Eradicator.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if we had known Shaq was going to get involved that early.
Steel, dude, come on. Steel's a shit.
That man is everywhere, by the way. He's in commercials for everything.
Yeah. But yeah, like, meme. I mean, I'll read it. I haven't been overly impressed with anything that I've read in a while. From either of the big two. Most of the stuff that's been impressive to me recently has been from Image or something even more obscure.
Do you think that possibly has something to do with canon baggage?
No, because I don't like most of the time when I read this shit, I'm usually just judging it on its own merit.
Can you really though?
I think I can.
So you can pick up an X-Men book today and be okay with what's going on if it's a good story.
So that's a separate piece, and that becomes a little bit more problematic. But specifically with the X-Men, almost every
that's the line of sight for me. So.
Yeah, no. But it's a great example because that's the one where I had the hardest time picking it up and figuring out what's going on because they fiddle fuck that a million different ways.
No mutants? Yes mutants? Some mutants?
Correct.
Which one hang on. Did you get, you were missing one.
Yes, I got it.
Which one were you missing?
6.
I looked for that book for a bit.
It's hard to get.
It was.
Yeah.
I gave up because that's what I look at when I'm sitting here. I'm like,
yeah.
And so I was just now looking. I'm like, that motherfucker filled in his book.
Because it usually goes for like $80 or some shit. Like I got it for $35.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's a score
price, bro.
for sure.
Yeah. And I got it on eBay just on Humble. But anyway, like that's the one. Like the team roster changes so much. The rules as to what are mutants, who's on the in, who's on the outs.
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess.
But most, if I pick up a Batman, like I got Batman shit down there that I haven't read. I just read 3 different Batman books last year. I haven't read Batman in 4 years. Picked it right up, no problem. No problem. And mostly, usually with the Marvel stuff too. Like if I pick up a Marvel event, what was that event that I loved? The one where Thanos ripped Doctor Doom in half.
Doom ripped.
Oh yeah. Doctor Doom ripped Thanos in half. Yeah.
I remember you talking about it. I don't remember what book it was.
So like I hadn't picked up a Marvel book in forever. Picked it right up, no problem. So like most of the time, X-Men is the one example where it's like fucking fuck you guys. What are you doing?
You need a chart.
They're the bastard children of fucking Marvel.
Yeah.
That's their real. That's who's really oppressing them. It's not
Marvel comics.
Yeah, it's not the Senators.
Funny.
Anyway, but yeah, like I don't think I think that I appreciate the history. I think that the history allows me to appreciate aspects of the character more, but I don't hold the history against it. I think I'm able to give it a clean slate.
Yeah, I know other people. Like my other friend who's ran a comic book store, comics. He's the same way. Can read things without it. But I'm like, I don't know. For me, I just can't, because when I look at a character, like I already have to mentally assign, because I know I think I know who he is, so I already assigned attributes to this person, and when it doesn't meet expectations, it cognitive dissonance. In this world.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
You know what I mean? Because you said you can pick up any book and read it, but like if you've never known these characters and have no idea who these characters are, do you still have any kind of connection to the story? Because these are just randos to you at that point.
Well, I don't know.
Because independent books,
that's impossible.
Because independent books and small books and shit you never heard of is that when you pick up, you can judge it by its own merit because you don't fucking know who these people are.
It's not tied to this crazy 40-year canon or 70-year.
But that is the gift and the curse of it, right?
It is.
Like in one hand, it is tied to all this baggage and luggage, and the other hand, it's richer in many ways for it. Because it's had all these years.
You can just pick and choose
so many.
What you like.
That's what I do.
Because that is the problem you're saying with X-Men is what I have a problem with all of it. It's all like that to me.
Yeah. So like that,
it's all convoluted.
It might be that I'm in it more. Where like I'm not in it like Raul and Phil. Like they're in it. But I'm in it enough where like it's like the cousin you see at a family reunion, or at Christmas and Thanksgiving or whatever, and you're like, hey, how's the kids?
I got married 3 times since I seen you.
I'm like, look how big they've gotten. Like that's how much I'm into comic books. But like at that level, I'm like, with X-Men, I'm like, when did you fucking start having kids? That's how I went with them. But anyway, this is obviously publicity driven.
Yes.
However, it can still be a good story at the end of the day, and if it is, I'll be happy to read it.
If you like it, you win.
All right, and then that takes us to questions. So,
Bobby, real quick, is that a picture of an NFT on your shirt? Because it kind of looks like it.
No, it's the cover. It's the cover of my Twisted Dark Secret Fantasy.
Oh, okay.
Well, not mine.
Someone's.
All right, Eric B. He wrote in,
Yo.
Curious to hear you all's opinion on these ramen toys Silverhawks. Having bought their Centurions, I was skeptical to go in on these as I felt the articulation was lacking, but these look very different, very mature, and have better paint than the Super 7 ones, which I love as well. So I may have to get these instead. Looking for reference, link for reference and email. Thanks for taking the time. Miss and love you guys. So,
Joe, are you familiar with this whole Centurions? I think fiasco is a good way to put it.
No, because I do love Centurions. Those look good.
This is
great.
The Centurions.
They look much better.
Third-party company. I think it's Ramen Toy or something.
You're familiar.
Yeah. I'm in some groups, Bobby. I'm familiar. So they made these third-party Centurions in kind of a 12-ish scale. And the way they rolled it out is that basically you had to pay them PayPal, just pay them. And the time for delivery was going to be longer than PayPal would cover.
Oh yeah,
but they did come out.
Pre-orders earlier,
so they did come out. The face sculpts are just awful. And now they're re-releasing it as a box set. But apparently they've got an official
confidence.
But based on that, they got an official license for Silverhawks through Super 7. Like I guess owns Silverhawks outright or something, from what I understand. So they're licensing this.
They're
company,
licensing it to them,
from what I understand.
Wow. Well, good on them for that.
I guess
because it's like direct competition.
Hasbro won't do that.
That's it is. I don't know. I'm not in for any of it.
No. So here's the thing with me is that like. It's about the sum of its parts.
Mm-hmm.
This company, Ramen Noodles, is not going to do the whole cast of Silverhawks, right?
Well, how many Silverhawks do you need? You need the main 5, right?
Yeah, the main 5
and a Monster. They've shown a Monstar also.
And Super 7's already announced the main 5.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm just going with the sure thing.
You don't think they're gonna come out with the main 5? Who would come out with just fucking 3 or some shit out of the 5?
A company that loses their
that's
nut.
just getting started.
Yep.
Oh, dude, you're right. I got fucked by that. Hard Hats Hero, or whatever. Hard Heroes. I had the 6-scale Thundercat statues. Are fucking great, but the company folded.
Yeah.
I never got the rest of them.
That sucks.
Because they were great. I don't know why they folded. I guess they didn't sell enough, but those are the best 6-scale Thundercat statues out there.
But I'm going with the sure thing.
I'm not getting any of it.
You don't even like Silverhawks.
I did. I probably like Silverhawks as much as I like Thundercats growing up, but I also don't have any Thundercats. So
right. Yeah, I'm just going. If they're going to get one little shelf over there, and that's it. That's one little Billy shelf on risers, and that's it. It's just a little tip of the hat to something that I did dig, and I'm out.
Oh, speaking of risers, Joe. After we get done, I'm going to ask you a question about risers. Don't let me forget.
riser.
I'm not talking about an early riser either.
So,
because I'm not.
Paul C said, if you were a professional body waxer, how close would you get to waxing your buddies and your family's private areas? Do you think you would answer differently if you were a woman? Now let's think about it the other way around. If your best friend was a body waxer, would you go to them and do some personal grooming? So I probably wouldn't get it.
I would not, but if I did, tasty taint, I'd be getting all up in there.
Yeah, either do it or don't, right?
Yeah, you ever seen Deuce Bigelow and he's giving the motion, like spread them apart and get.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't mix family and business.
In business, in general.
Yeah, that's one thing. I think, man, I want to support you, but I'm not going to.
I mean, I do a hot chick friend though.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's always the exception.
That's a very weird question, Paul C. It seems like you might have some background.
Also, like I grew myself perfectly fine. I don't get the shit done anyway.
Let us know if there's
I don't
more
need
details.
the fan price, bro, on waxing.
Hey, y'all got a friends and family discount?
Yeah,
that would be a crazy thing to ask at the wax parlor.
Get a nice Brazilian from your fucking mom.
Yeah, I think I'd almost be offended. But what the fuck's wrong with you, man? No, I'm not doing that. Like, here, I want me to Google a place that'll do it for you. Like, what are you asking me?
What if they just showed up at your shop? They know where you work. Just like you're a tattoo artist. They show
that's fucked up.
They just show up like, hey, I want a tattoo.
Because you can't turn them away,
right? Because you at work at that point.
I think I would hopefully have an employee that I could be like, here, this one's on you.
This is Joe. Who's going to take care of you?
Yeah, there shouldn't be much body hair on Joe anyway.
That's right.
All right, so Shane G said, good afternoon, Nerd Rage crew. I wanted to share a story with you, and this story comes from a direction that I've decided to take my collecting. I have come to a decision that now that I have sold off all my Masterpiece Transformer collection and the majority of my other collectibles, that from now on my collection will be centered around sentimental and meaningful items. For example, The samurai sword I used to cut my groom's cake at my wedding reception will forever be hanging on the wall in the home office. What would you say is the most sentimental piece of your collections you have? Keep that in mind. He said, also, when I found out my wife was pregnant and then found out it was going to be a girl, we had to go through the naming process. My wife had it stuck in her head. She wanted to name her Ellie, and I never understood why till she gave me the whole story. She wanted to name her after her late grandmother, but her name wasn't actually Ellie. It was Alita. Yeah, an actual human named Alita. So here's Alita 1 with the other Alita 1. He's in a little picture of his daughter with...
Nice.
Yeah, very cool.
Nice.
A happy accident, but amazing nonetheless. One last thing. Bobby says this to me. Bobby, say this with me. Acadiana for Acadiana. Acadiana. Acadiana? What the fuck is that?
You must have said something wrong.
Hearing you struggle through that pronunciation the other day made my soul die just a little. Sorry, I never even heard of that. Is that My Hero Academiana?
My Hero Academia is Academiama.
Macadamia nuts.
My Hero Macadamia nuts. Sorry for the long email, but just wanted to share a story that hopefully warmed the cockles of even Joe's icy heart. Till next time, gentlemen. So,
why is he talking about your cockles like that, Joe?
People know what my cockle is.
Most sentimental piece,
God,
if any.
I'm trying to think.
Sentimental piece. There's very little in my collection I didn't buy myself, so that to me adds the sentiment would be as being a gift.
And also, like, we buy each other stuff all the time.
Not necessarily. Because it could be something that you bought that's just meaningful. Like if I had to pick for you, I would say Zuvios and fucking Ollie's. Because like they have them a lot. Like at least Ollie has the most meaning, I think, in your
suppose.
collection.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my G1 cup. It's like the only.
Yeah, you often mention that.
I've got that, and that's like, something I'll always keep. But yeah. I mean, the Zuvios and the Ollies, I'm almost kind of known for them. But yeah. What about you, Bobby?
The Grimlock statue.
Okay,
that's going to be up there forever. And also like this Jaina Solo figure. Because of that changing of the tide with that voting for her. If you recall, like I made a desperate attempt on socials and I just pushed. I was like, look, man, get your mom, get your aunt, get your grandpa. And I'm not saying that I had anything to do with it, but it was not winning at all.
Anything.
And it won. So like it just means a lot to me, and I never thought I'd get a fucking another Jaina
figure.
You
have like 12 of them
in a post-Ray world. You know what I mean? So probably those two.
So like I don't know if it's part of my collection. It's something it's collection just shit you own because of that. Because I don't have them up, but I have a bucket. I have a bucket of old Gundams that
Gundam
are.
bucket. Love to hear.
Have you tried putting them in a trash bag?
A giant trash bag filled with them.
Like you're talking about fully assembled.
As well as a younger me would
Okay.
have, and also some are in pieces. So back in the day, after I came to America, I didn't go back to Hong Kong for the longest time, and then I started going like every year or 2 years to visit my family and friends at a time, and like every year, like they would buy me a Gundam.
Oh, nice.
Because I love that shit. So, like, I have a bin. They're not display worthy. They're not the best of things, but I can tell you exactly when and who got what for me. And
That's great, man. That's it.
Yeah. No, that's good stuff.
Get your little shelf and put them out.
Yeah.
Or revisit them.
I do. I see them all the time.
Well, or just, I'm saying revisit them from a creative standpoint.
Fighting Rabbit. What up,
Yojimbo? You were just talking about Yojimbo earlier.
Yeah, I was. What up, Spell Table? Hope everything is going well. Question, do any of you have a big three, so to speak? To me, a big three are just three pieces in your collection that bring satisfaction and owning. I feel like this is pretty similar. Currently, I have 2 out of 3. I got into collecting about 2 years ago, which was about 4 or 5 years too late, but managed to get fans hobby Power Baser and Perfect Effect Leonidas. Leonidas is beautiful. It was just fragile. Having trouble tracking down Make Toys Utopia, but once I do those, will be my big three. Take care, and thanks for what you're doing.
Which one's Utopia?
And he said the Make Toys Metroplex.
That's right.
And he said, can a brother get an Ayo?
My big three is my 3 top cow statues.
Yeah.
Except I'm actually missing the proper third that's never being made. Angelus is just never being made.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, mine would probably be the same two that I just discussed, and I don't know if I have a third per se. Maybe I would put the Batman, the one that you got me, because he's like he partakes in all the festivities of the house. Like
he's a very festive Batman.
He's like the fourth.
I mean, there's a Superman and a I think Wonder Woman that goes with that set.
Yeah, he's like my fourth kid.
He's the size of your third.
Yeah, I don't know that I have.
Yeah.
My shit comes and goes so often. It kind of flows into that flows and get it into that other one.
My big three are like my big three collections, like Star Wars, DC, and Transformers.
Well, you got 3 kids.
Oh yeah, those are my. Dude, I collected those for a while. Good thing I got out of that.
Yeah, I tell
3
you,
and done. That's it.
that game's a racket.
Dude, 3 in, 3 out.
That game's a racket, though, Bobby. It really is. The whole having kids thing.
All right, Kevin R. He said fan tits.
Okay.
Hello, nerd motherfuckers. Am I the only one that has to mention that Fan Toys pipes got titties? Can those seats fold up or come off? Maybe it's just my dirty mind. Hold up.
Now I gotta see.
Where you have that, don't you?
Nah, it's not out yet.
Huh? Oh.
Fancy Toys.
I thought Fan Toys Pipes was out.
Nah, hell no. They haven't even showed.
What
color.
pipes just came out? Didn't the pipes just come out?
Oh, it's got little ledge. I see the seats he's talking about. It's got little ledges.
Is that
on there.
iGear?
No, that's Fan Toys.
Oh yeah, those
Yeah,
are
I do.
definitely titty pedestals.
Yeah, they're kind of like it's like the push-up bra without the tits.
Well, so
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen
weird looking.
girls wear push-up balls without tits. It's like a cup with an empty space.
Yeah.
Shoki, another email for the pile. What's poppin', nerd ragers? Hope you're remembering to lock the bedroom and bathroom doors this week. Yeah, that was rough. First things first, I got
The
about
sex when the kids.
5 minutes into Bobby and Joe's statue pod before I had to stop and actually order the new Thundercat statues from Iron Studios.
Dude, he got the mutants. He got them. I seen them. I see you in IG, bro.
Oh, you seen it?
That's why. Yeah.
Haven't got back to it just yet, but it's in the list. It's funny that I find myself really leaning into the idea of selling off a good portion of my figure collection to replace it with statues, especially the Power Rangers.
A lot of us get there, bro.
I love the Lightning collection as much as the next guy, but I was very torn about ordering the 1/6 figures or possibly just swapping out for the IS statues dioramas. It's still rolling around in my head.
I mean, they look great.
I'll put another whisper in your ear. Remember that song?
Yeah.
Mezco.
Yin Yang Twins?
Yeah.
Oh, my people.
I don't think so. Mezco has a set that I think that translates great. I'm not getting them because I'm not a Power Ranger.
Power Rangers.
They're doing the original 5 and you know, it looks great in those.
Questionable original 5, but okay.
The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
The American original
The
5.
American 5.
Yeah.
He
Party
said
of 5?
He said not for the air, but I'm gonna read it anyway. He said I'm parting with Black Series. If there's any repeat characters you may need, send me.
List.
Please send a list. As for a question, since Pinkerton just finished The Expanse, I was wondering what are the best looking TV shows and anime for Joe, in your opinions? Could be classic or brand new.
Anything
Best looking?
Anything by
he said-
Studio Trigger. Anything by Table Ufotable.
He said Game of Thrones, for instance, had some damn good CGI and cinematography at times. Battlestar Galactica, while dated now, was also pretty damn good because also explained makeup and effects. And of course, we need a worst list as well, but that's it for me. Boba Fett is number 1 on the worst list. I got to get back to loading up Billy shells and reviewing and building robots, and I may get some tamales this week, despite the piss poor way Chris described them a couple weeks ago. Jumping Jesus, White Keenan. Keep on Power Rangers.
Yes, White Keenan. We gotta keep that up. You need a White Keenan from now on.
I think Sopranos looked great. You know, like I think The Wire was shot well.
Did he specifically say series?
Yeah. Like
So you like David Chase is what you're saying?
yeah, I guess so. Well, he didn't do The Wire.
Did he not? I thought he was involved in it somehow.
No. The Wire was done by the homicide, Life on the Streets guy. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of those HBO shows are done really well. The show The Judge that I was talking about, that like a year or two ago, it was about like a kid that killed a gangster's son, like in a drunk driving accident, and the kid was the judge's son. Like that was shot.
Was that the
really,
one that
really
had
well. Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad, yeah.
Which was also shot well.
Yeah.
As far as worst, I mean, I don't like that Book of Boba is that shit is it is a worst looking piece of television I've seen in some time. But I have to say the shit you were talking about, the Spiral City or whatever it is. I was like, is this where the budget went for this show? Because that shit looked great.
It looked great. It looked great.
I mean, you have money, you gotta put it somewhere.
They show the bombing of Mandalore during like the Night of 1,000 Tears or whatever. Like that shit looked great. Good. Like I was like, man, I bet you this is where all the budget went for this show. Because the Tatooine shit looks awful.
We can't weather these bikes at all. No, we can't weather them at all.
Sparkling.
So they're just going to be clean.
Biggerton said I could use cinnamon. Silence you.
So little white dry brush is all you need. That and cinnamon.
I mean, just literally throw mud at it. Come on.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think a lot of TV shows look bad. Like it's usually one of my big beefs with television shows. Like I think that Luke Cage looked bad. I think that Iron Fist looked bad. I think Defenders looked awful. I think a lot of television ends up looking bad. I think it's
a budgetary issue.
I think it's more 100%. 100%. I think it's more surprising when it doesn't.
Well, Expanse looks amazing.
Well, it does. And I mentioned it.
Can't compare. It's hard to compare.
It is.
Expanse does look good.
And it gets better as the years go by. I mean, because that what you're watching now came out in like 2016, I think. So the stuff like I had mentioned, they only did 6 episodes, and I think it's because they are good at budgeting. I mean, nothing in season 6 looked bad. They just knew that
somebody did write in
how much they're going to need to spend on that last episode. That final episode is so
exactly the amount of money that's needed for everything.
Yeah,
blowing the whole budget and then realizing you're out of money.
Yeah, their showrunner I think does a great job with that stuff.
I was going to allow you the chance. Well, I guess it's more of a like you like what you like kind of a deal.
Yeah,
but somebody said The Expanse. I love the series. I'm a giant nerd. I run an Expanse tabletop RPG for a group of 4.
That's awesome.
I have 2 words for that finale: rushed, anticlimactic.
Wow.
It's not nerdy. All this stuff is nerdy.
So I wonder if this person has read all the books, because I think if you've read all the books, then it probably is, because there's more story to go.
Because it's just like
anything you have to truncate.
A lot of people hated You're not going to watch it, but Daenerys burns down this city to the fucking ground at the end of it.
I know of it.
Yeah, and people fucking hated that.
That's what she said she was going to do the whole time.
I was like, it makes perfect sense to me why she would act this way. But
she done told you.
I don't. I know I haven't looked at, and I'm sure look, people have opinions that you're going to like what they like, but
sure.
Unsurprisingly, I'm in some Expanse fan groups, and the overwhelming response to that finale was, "Wow, that was fucking great."
Billings said, just some fun questions this week. 1, would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 10 duck-sized horses? I would rather
10 duck-sized horses.
I would rather fight 10 duck-sized horses.
Duck-sized sucks. Remember when you guys got educated about
the
duck penises?
Penis? Yeah, that's true.
Imagine a horse-sized version of that.
That's fair.
Bro.
Yeah,
I'll take the little ones.
Yeah.
Bro, that fucking dick was going to impale
And how would a duck wear a human costume? Where does the beak go?
Dude, that's from Peacemaker.
There's like an after credit. It's an after credit scene, and I was expecting him to. I can't believe he didn't break. Like Cena held it together because it was dead serious that whole time, discussing how the fuck a human would or a duck would wear a human costume.
And I hate. I'm not a Cena fan at all.
Right,
and I'm into it. He sold me. I didn't like him in the movie.
You didn't like him Transformers?
No. Yes, I did not like him in Transformers, but I also did not like him in Suicide Squad.
Did you see him in that movie? Amy Schumer had a movie out, and he was one of her love interests.
Maybe. I find her funny. I know people hate her.
I think she's funny too.
Yeah. If you had to choose, I'll tell you. My favorite bit of hers is that bit that she did where she was like, she was at her like yuppie friends like wine tasting party. And they were all like having a glass of wine and chuckling and being little cackling hens, if you will, Joe. And I of course wouldn't say that, Joe. They're not hens at all. It's degrading, really, in many ways.
All right, woke Bobby, come on.
At any rate, she was like, they were woke Bobby. That's the one. So like, they're going around the room and they're saying like things they do that are so bad. They're so bad, Joe. So like one's like, oh my God, I fucking like one time Bill went to sleep, and I ran downstairs and had some ice cream. He was sleeping. And the other one was like, oh, one time I told Bill, Johnny, I was going to do yoga, but I ended up just taking a walk on the beach instead. And and they're all, and then like they got to Amy, and she was like, she just looked at her friend who invited her to this, and her friend gave her this look like, don't do it. And she's like, one time I jerked off a cab driver.
You like you like her because she is you.
I didn't jerk off a cab driver.
In that same bit, she says something like, Sharon, I have used peanut butter to get cum out of your hair before. What are you talking about? Or just something very over the top.
But I find her. I've seen horrible performances by her, but I've also seen good ones. I don't think she's amazing, but I don't think she's as bad as people say. I don't think she's as great as people say. If you had to choose one song to play whenever you walked into another room for the rest of your life, what would it be? I mean, at this point, it'd be "Welcome to the Party." That is like my unofficial theme song.
Natural Born Killers by
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube and Dr. You know how it starts? There's no forgetting it. No, I don't know. That's
let the bodies hit the floor.
there you go.
Let the dumbbells hit the floor. Tell me something.
Nothing wrong with me.
Tell me something you think in your heart of hearts is true, but almost nobody else agrees with you on.
What is this, TikTok?
I mean, I know a number. I mean, like, I think that Luke Skywalker has never been heroic except for the last 15 minutes of Last Jedi.
Dress shoes are dumb.
Dress shoes?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have anything.
White dry brushing doesn't make a bit of difference.
Oh my God.
But that's not true.
Holy shit.
Which I disagree with also. But what are you not very good at?
Is this speed dating?
Yeah.
What am I not very good at?
Anything. I'm not fucking good at anything.
Oh my. Oh.
Here we go.
You're Jonler's List.
No, I changed my.
No.
Wow. I changed my answer on the music. I don't want
Let the Bodies hit the floor.
I want the Jurassic Park theme.
I like it too. I like you entering into that music as well better. I'll be honest with you. I think it's more suiting.
I'm not good at retaining skills that I don't use often. Like, I'll teach myself how to use a software program to do something, and then I won't touch it for 6 weeks, and I'll have no idea what to do when I come back to it.
No, I work too hard, and I don't know how to delegate my duties, and I'm too early all the time, and I stay late.
And I'm too much of a team player.
Yeah.
And I don't let good work go. I always bring work home with me.
Everything.
I'm constantly working on it. I'll tell you what. I'm not good at studying. I'm not good at studying. I'm not good at. I'm not good at retaining what I read. I'm dumb. I'm mentally challenged. Not in a mentally ridiculous way. Like I probably have like some sort of.
It's an attention span thing.
I probably have some sort of deficiency. I don't know what it like.
Attention is what you're deficient at.
Yeah, and self-control.
It's like a disorder.
It's self-control because I'll also be like, man, I should study, and I'd be like, or I could look at this Reddit thread about sucking after coming.
I'm not good at finishing projects. I start many and I get well into many and I don't have a fucking thing finished. That's my life.
It's funny because I'm not good at starting projects I can't finish.
I mean, I'll have all the best of intentions to finish them.
Like a lot of times, like I would benefit from like starting something and just getting it going, and then pick it up tomorrow. But I'll get discouraged if I can't finish it, and I'll put it all off till tomorrow until I can do it all in one day.
Oh, okay. See, I get discouraged when the project becomes overwhelming and I put it off and then I never get back to it.
But whereas I could probably get this project and the next project done in one day if I just started it today and was okay with walking away from it for 8 hours.
Right.
Letting that fucking wash dry for 8 hours.
Yeah, definitely.
It's true. Let's see here. He said, thanks for all the laughs and good times. Love, peace, and titty grease. KFC, sup, Power Ragers. Quick question for Pinkerton. I want to hear about your Armada days if you can. You mentioned on ETR that those were some interesting times.
You collected Transformers Armada?
Yeah, I did.
Really?
Look, Bobby, he looked appalled. Is the face you just made right now?
So,
dude, looks like someone stabbed your dog.
I can never look at you the same.
I'll tell you.
You filthy Armada.
So this is how it went for me. MPO1.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I can't believe I'm going to spend this much money on a toy.
Mm-hmm.
Ordered from BBTS. It came in.
Wow, BBTS even.
That's crazy.
Wow.
The alternators came out.
Yes, they
Which
were like,
was-
real cars.
Those
Real
were
cars.
They were
Real
so
cars.
cool because it was a real car.
They're ugly now.
And then right around that time, they started out with the Armada stuff, and I'm like, well, I'll let you know. And I enjoyed collecting it. I enjoyed finding it. I have fond memories of driving around, trying to find.
Wow, imagine driving around to look for Armada.
Yeah, and like they did repaints of like the, they had a little Mercedes SUV that everybody had at the time that I remember. I think it might have been Braun. And then they did like 3 or 4 different repaints of those. And
I was always tempted by the one Stunticon. I forget which one they had, but they had whether it was Dead End or Wild Rider.
one of those. And I collected all the way through that trilogy. Actually, the cartoons were awful, but
They were.
yeah,
You got the Unicron and everything?
I did. I had the Unicron.
I still have them. And the Primus.
Nice.
Without the butt flap. I don't know why. It's easy to lose. If you look on eBay, you will see all the Primuses and none of them have butt flaps.
Oh no!
So you can't, when you transform it back to planet, it's just a big old hole in the ass.
And you said you're missing yours as well?
Yeah.
I wonder what happened.
Tragic.
All right. And then we have Jake C. Good afternoon, NRR, or morning, or whatever time of day it is. You were actually right.
Yeah.
I have questions experiment for you today based on the following plot description of what show am I describing to you?
Oh, that sounds fun.
All right. Group of warriors from a bygone era adopt, train, and protect a special white-haired tween from a rising power. The blood of said tween also potential holds the key to the survival of said warriors. So it's funny. I guessed one, and I snuck the answer.
I don't have a clue.
Bad Batch was my guess.
Oh well, Bad Batch would probably be. Yeah, it's not though, is it?
I have no idea.
So he said, if both Bad Batch and The Witcher Season 2 were said, the experiment is a success, and it shows that both are basically the same show with different settings.
One's much better than the other.
Except, unlike Bad Batch, The Witcher is good. Thanks for the laugh, guys. Have a good week.
Got to finish. I haven't finished season 2 of that. It just hasn't grabbed me like season 1 did.
Paul C. comes back in with a final question for the week. What is something that you have loved? What is something that you love, but the barrier to entry is so massive that you would still not recommend it to others? If this is too hard to come up with, what is something that you love that has a lot of caveats or asterisks to go alongside your recommendation?
Other than statues?
I mean, yeah,
Hookers and Blow. Hookers and Blow is really expensive, but good time.
I could go into like so many. Like, choose. Star Wars. I always want to tell people about Star Wars. Like, you should check it out. But I'm like, look, it's like 8 good movies. It's like 7 good movies and then 2 kind of bad ones, and they sit as bookends, and you kind of have to work past one only to eventually be unsatisfied by the last.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like one of those. But I'm like, but there's some really good stuff in the.
There's some really good parts in Star Wars.
I'd say it about Snyder Cut. I'm like, look, this is really good, but it's 4 hours. Like
One Piece. It's only 1,000 episodes, bro.
Yeah, where do you start?
And going. And still going.
There was somebody in the realm the other day said they were thinking about getting into Black Series figures. Where would you recommend starting? And I was going to comment, whenever they started doing the digital face paint, start there and work your way up.
Yeah.
And I was reading the comments. Robert said you need to get a mattress. And I mean, part of me is like, a lot of the comments were just cherry pick what you want. Yeah. You don't have to buy everything, and they do a pretty good job of like
recycling. If
you, for example, didn't get the Lando 2 years ago, there'll probably be another one in a couple years, or you can go chase that one down.
Right.
Or come to my house, I'll give you a box.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, there's a lot, man.
Yeah, there's just so many different, from toy lines to like, yeah, those are great, but be careful with XYZ. I mean, it's,
Warhammer, Magic,
shows, movies. I mean, everything. I feel like everything I love has an asterisk.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Make sure you get through the first 3 episodes.
I think part of why we like this shit is because it's so deep.
Yeah.
Like it's a deep well to go into. Like, we're not into just like a surface fucking flash in the pan kind of thing.
I think that like the easy ones to recommend for me, if I if I had to think of like what's easy to recommend, it's like one little like great movies that are just one little like You should watch Goodfellas. You should watch
Casino.
Casino. Sorry, it was Casino, of course. You should watch Boogie Nights. You should watch, like Social Network, like these great Pulp Fiction, like these great single Snatch, these little great 2-hour investment movies that will get you through a night and you'll probably thoroughly enjoy.
Right. Boogie Nights or Talladega Nights?
Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights is in my top 5.
I'm going Talladega.
Same.
Boogie Nights is in my top 5.
I mean, it was like The Office. You're like, listen, it's really long. There's a shorter British version.
So like,
there's 9 seasons.
For me,
it's 12 episodes or like 140 episodes.
If we were talking about best comedies, Talladega Nights.
Yes.
But like Boogie Nights, for me, has all of the comedy, but it also has like a good story for me too. It's not dumb.
The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. It's the
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Ricky Bobby.
I hear you. But dude, and there's certain scenes like that. I love like when John C. Reilly, like he's like when he gets all upset with that music producer, and he's like, you can have your studio, but our heart and soul that we put in those songs, that's ours. I just love that shit. Like it.
Got the touch.
I love.
That's why you like that.
When John C. Reilly's like, you seen that movie Star Wars? And Mark's like 3 times. And he's like, people say I look like Han Solo. And Mark Wahlberg goes, really? Like, I love them little beats, I don't know. Boogie Nights is one of my favorite movies of all time. So, and like, you know what? Boogie Nights, Social Network is another one. Every now and then I stumble across a movie that to me feels like music. And I don't know how else to describe it.
But you don't like musicals, which are movies that are like music.
But they're not. But they're not. Like it's like
they literally are.
But they're not.
But it's like that scene in what's the movie? It's Ice Cube and Spike Jonze. They're in Iraq. George Clooney's in it.
Yeah.
Three Kings.
Good.
I love Three Kings.
It's like a great movie.
It's a good movie.
This is how musicals are.
Everybody take note. It's episode 235 in 2 years when Joe says he hates this one too. I just want to
No, I love Three Kings.
So in 3
But it is good. It is good.
Great movie.
Musicals are like this to me. In Three Kings, where the guy puts like the DVD case in the dude's mouth and starts pouring
the
oil. That's the music in a musical to me. It's too much.
But like,
what a wild reference.
It is a wild reference, but
hey,
I agree.
I was in the film industry, guys. I have some weird pools.
To me, it's about the rhythm and the flow of a movie and the dialogue and the way.
What
it
about
moves.
a hustle
and flow?
You know it's hot out here for a pimp.
When I'm bagging up these lobsters and these shrimp,
You ain't know.
man. What was it that had that like
Maine?
That there was a meme I sent you recently that was centered around Maine. God damn it!
Hey,
did you go in on those Yeezys recently?
Which ones?
I don't know. The last confirmed
powder blue. And
yeah,
no.
I tried. I gave it a shot. Did not win.
No, I don't. And you ruined the other ones for me. The Blue Lives Matter ones. I can't do it now.
Have I showed you this, dude? They're
just black Yeezys with a blue stripe.
Oh,
a very blue stripe, and I was like, dude, you got this.
It's almost like it's a thin blue line.
Yeah, and he posted them like he liked them, and I was like, oh, you want them Blue Lives Matter sneakers?
Didn't you say one of your guys at work? You turned him off to it too?
Yeah. By making the same joke, and he's like, "Oh fuck!" Like and it's not. He's like, it's just people. I think it's not even how people see the controversy. Just people don't want to be making a statement with their shoes.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Inadvertently, especially.
Speaking of shoes and Yeezys in general, I know where all the Yeezys are. They're in New York City. Holy shit. You saw so many people wearing those. Do you know those Yeezy space boots that came out a while back?
Yeah.
I saw somebody wearing those.
No thanks.
And they look just as crazy on foot as they do.
Yeah.
They're crazy looking.
So real quick before we get out of here, just for goofiness sake, did you happen to listen to the Kanye Game song that came out?
Nah.
No.
So, you familiar that Kim Kardashian is dating Pete Davidson?
Yes.
And all? Yes. Okay. So, like, let me, I just want to read you the lyrics to this verse, okay? Kanye Easy lyrics. Nah, shit. He has this song out with the game. And, all right, this is probably Easy E. All right,
Easy E,
because they're playing off of the Easy E sample. The Easy. All right, so here goes. How I ain't bringing nothing to the table when I'm the table. I'm gonna turn up the music, wake up the neighbors. I'm gonna get that thug life tatted across my navel. This is how I am in real life, not just on cable. Mr. Narcissist, tell me about my arrogance. No more counseling. I don't negotiate with therapists. God, yay, want to let God in, but tonight I guess I'll let pride win. Cousin Dre sent me scriptures, helped me see my life better. We're having the best divorce ever. If we go to court, we'll go to court together. Matter of fact, pick up your sister, we'll go to courts together. I watched 4 kids for like 5 hours today. I wear these Yeezy boots everywhere, even in the shower today. I got love for the nannies, but real family is better. The cameras watch the kids, y'all stop taking the credit. Talking to the non-custodial dad. I bought the house next door. What do you think the point of really being rich is for? When you give them everything, they only want more. Bougie and unruly, y'all need to do some chores. Rich ass kids, this ain't your mama's house. Climb on your brother's shoulders. Get that top ramen out. God save me from the crash just so I could beat Pete Davidson's ass. And my new bitch is bad. I know Illuminati mad. This is that new Minati bitch. This that two Bugatti rich. This that God did this. Only God did this.
All right.
So this just goes to support my personal theory that I tend to only want to listen to artists when they're going through painful events in their life.
I mean, that's where most music
You get the most feels.
from.
God save me from the crash just so I could beat Pete Davis' ass. All right. So with that being said, shout out to the rest of the cool table. If you listen to this,
You are the table.
I am the table. That's what I thought of when I read that bridge. I am the bridge. I said the same fucking thing. Like,
Yep.
And then shout out to the rest of the Nerd Rage team. We have Ricky Tiki Timber doing the videos for the promotional stuff. Hope you guys have been enjoying them. We have Dante on Facebook. We have Phil on Notes and on Twitter. We have Raul on Instagram. And
real quick, if you want to send questions,
it's nerdragemail@gmail.com.
and we appreciate and love 5-star reviews on Apple Music or wherever you listen to this.
Anywhere you listen,
show.
it really helps us out.
Especially in Germany, we got to get the numbers up.
Yeah, we're top 100 again in 2 countries this week. And with that,
Flappy labius.
Tasty tank.
tight dick player.